Oh, there we go. We're back. We're back. Am I there? Let's see. Test. Oh, yeah. All right. There I am. There's my face. Jeez, man. All right. Wow, that's enough of that. Are we on Twitch too? We're all good? We're across the board? We're across the board. We got to move on here because I got a lot to do tonight. Because I got to get ready for tomorrow's big event and also hopefully edit a couple of videos tomorrow. Jeez, I got a lot. I pushed a lot off until this day. Largely just screwing around. I got to be honest with you. As much as I feel like the Janko Potamus laptop is a good deal at $60. Like you do have to futz around with it more than like a better laptop. I hope everybody appreciates that. But let's get on with this. Hopefully everybody's still there in the after chat. Let's go say hi to all our friends here. Oh yeah. Wow, holy smokes, there's a lot of people in there. My goodness.
I know MikroTik has got to be the cheapest one that I've seen on the market, but honestly, Ubiquiti, their gear is nicely priced as far as what you get out of it.
I don't want to spend $1,000 on a Switch.
How's it going?
You're gonna have to get the only way that you'd be able to is MikroTik, but then you got to learn their operating system. Good luck to that.
Guys, it's ham radio time. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. You guys had enough fun. I had to break in with my multiple streams. Here we go. Thanks, everybody, for sticking around, hanging out, waiting for the after chat. I made it. Took a little time, but we got there. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope well.
Doing well.
Good. All right. So I hope you all were playing around with your SDRs at home, doinking around with that analog to digital conversion fun.
Oh, I've got my Sun SDR right here.
Right on.
I've got my Zygu G90 right here.
Very good. All right, so what we like to do on the Ham Radio Crash Course for the After Chat, by the way, if you're not watching me on Twitch, that's the best way, or you can watch me on YouTube now because I'm simul-streaming to all the things. You can do either one, and you can watch in parallel because sometimes I'll pull up web links, I'll pull up videos, I'll pull up other stuff as we go through it just to explain how things work, or I'll demonstrate stuff live on my desktop here. So what we like to do is welcome everyone here who is here for the first time. So if there's anybody here for the first time that would like to say hi, this is your opportunity to, 1, say hi, and 2, ask a ham radio question if you got it. And we'd love to answer it. That's why we're here. This is like the biggest part of why we're here. So who's here for the first time like to say hi? Come now.
So hi.
How's it going?
I'm Ivan, R2AZR.
Nice.
And it's morning here, just after sunrise. And I've just finished erecting my DX Commander knockoff antenna. And now comes the fun part, tuning the elements and stuff. I've posted the pics into the antennas chat.
Very good. Well, thank you for joining us out there. Do you have a ham radio question or anything like that?
I think I'll get my question in later.
Okay.
Hey, that's really good.
What's really good?
Your antenna. I'm looking in the antennas chat.
You got kind of a...
Well, it looks good. I haven't connected my Nano VNA to it yet, so I don't know how good it is actually.
Tom, you've got a buzz on your...
Yeah, I've got a $2 sound card that doesn't have filtering caps in it.
Oh, copy. Okay. Very good. All right, well, we figured that out. Okay, cool. Anybody else out here for the first time that'd like to say hi or ask a question? Come now, please.
Not really. I just want to say hi. Oh, wait, sorry, go ahead.
I'll go to Lush first, and then we'll go to the next one.
I don't have a question. I just wanted to say hi.
Hey, that's perfectly fine. Appreciate it coming
good
out.
stream. It was pretty bumpy.
Yeah, those are sometimes the best, but, you know, on my end, it's like, man, I just want you to work. Now, I will say that had nothing to do with my equipment or my network. It was freaking solid. It was the internet just completely went out and disappeared.
Sorry to hear. Go ahead. Didn't mean to interrupt that.
No, you're
other
good. You're
person.
good. All right, who's next? Who was the next person there? I only saw Lush.
Hey, this is Snow Cones. I just started watching it a few days ago. I bought a SDR, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm having fun with it. I just bought a massive antenna for it. I bought a 34-foot mast and stuff, and I'm going to try to listen to some
Fantastic.
frequencies.
Fantastic.
Definitely the way to go.
You started off on the right foot, I think. Going SDR is great. It's really, really fun. I think SDRs are a lot of fun. They're a great little hobbyist experimental tool and a really fun way to listen to radio. So, all right. Well, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. All right, who's next in the chat here? Wants to say hi or ask a question?
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going? Indeed. How are you doing? I'm doing great.
Not new to the channel, but new to the Discord chat.
Right on. All right. Well, Zachary, how's it going? And do you have a ham radio question? Or I guess any kind of radio question. It doesn't have to be ham radio.
No, I got a ham radio question. I'm kind of new to FT8 and like the software, the WSJTX.
Sure. Go ahead.
So my question was, I think I know the answer, but does the software automatically, produce the signal to noise ratio report, or is that something that you affect?
The software will tell you the signals of the people you're hearing. So that's that -10, -16 dBm that you see on any one of the columns. That's actually the signal to noise ratio, basically. I mean, it's not explicitly signal to noise, but it's the dBm reading for the signal that was heard.
And that's automatically created and reported whenever you're in a QSO.
Any signals you hear of any station will show up as they are. Oh, apparently my YouTube stream is dead. Why? No, it's good. I see it. It's right. It's fine. Wait, why is it going? What is going on with this whole thing? Hold on one second. All right. I'm having a tough day with live streaming, man.
Twitch is fine.
Yeah, so we're there. Hold on. So we should be good now. Is it public? Okay, good. I don't know what happened there, but you should see me just fine. Am I there? I should be there. Refresh your screens.
They both seem to be working now.
Okay. No, you're good. There's no way to do Patreon only on YouTube, really. It's YouTube members. Patreon has to be like its own shared thing. Okay, so anyway, to the person asking the question, sorry, who was that again? Who was asking? Zachary. So, any signals that you pick up that's like an intelligible WSJTX signal is going to have a dBm value associated to it, and that dBm value is going to be whatever it is above the noise floor, basically.
Okay. Yeah, I guess the reason I'm asking is I was on FT8 like 4 weeks ago, and I actually made a QSO with you, Josh, and you brought it up on the live stream after chat, and that's why it kind of threw me off a little. But you said you were shocked because I gave you a +26.
Yeah,
I just didn't know if that was irregular.
That's insanely high. So anything that's -10 to 0 is single sideband territory, meaning we can talk voice over the radio. Voice is generally more difficult than doing digital modes. And for you to give me a +26, like, are you down the street from me? Are you close to Cerritos, California?
No, I'm 400 miles away. I'm in southern Arizona, and I was wondering if you had your beam, because you were trying to get the guys up in Grand Canyon for soda.
Yeah.
For POTA.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if I was just in the right angle. But I'm not running anything fancy. So
you were just in the blast zone, man. But your antenna must be good because you heard, like, yeah, it was... I wasn't trying to put out that much signal. That is a crazy high signal, more than what is needed for WSJTX for sure. But yeah, okay, thanks for the plus 26 report for 400 miles away.
So ultimately, it's the software. It's nothing that I'm doing.
Totally out of your
inherently, it's
control.
just-
Yeah, totally out of
Yeah.
your control. Yeah, the software's doing all the work. Although, what is your antenna out of curiosity? Because you probably have a pretty low noise environment and probably a pretty decent antenna. What is it?
You'll be surprised. I'm running just an end-fed random wire, ran from a palm tree, no more than 30 feet on the high end.
But you must have it set up well enough that it's very happy on that band of operation. Do you do pretty well on WSJTX normally for FT8?
I think so. I mean, most contacts I generally get through, and I've been getting pretty far DX, even though this isn't a beam at all. I'm pretty random. I've done whisper testing, and I'm getting pretty much all over Australia, Western Asia.
Pretty good.
Europe, but it's just a wire, and I'm not even doing anything crazy. You'd be surprised how janky it is.
You just have it set up well. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Don't change a thing. Everything's working. If anything, if you put up another antenna, don't take the old one down. Just keep them both up. Get an antenna switch.
You gonna mention Psk Reporter?
I mean, I can. What did you want to say? Go ahead, Don. What did you want to say?
Well, I mean, as far as like looking at how other people are hearing you, even the stations that you're not talking to. If you go on Psk Reporter, you can see how well you're getting out on any of the, like anytime you transmit, as long as you're the person that's on the other side, and most of us do, are sharing our WSJTX data to Psk Reporter.
Right.
Is like if you see that decode window popping up, all of those decodes get loaded into Psk Reporter. So if somebody comes in later and looks for their call from me, they would see it even if I wasn't in a QSO with them, because I'm logging all my data to Psk Reporter.
Yeah, it's always a really good way to tell if your antenna is, how it's doing, how it's performing, that kind of thing. So sounds like your antenna's doing great though, so you don't have to do anything.
Yeah, well, thank you. Like I said, it threw me off. I've never been mentioned, on a live stream, so I thought that was kind of interesting. So I figured I'd ask.
Plus 26 is I've never I don't think I've received a signal. I don't think I've had a signal report that high before. So
I just thought maybe if I was like falsely reporting a really high signal to make you feel good.
You were sandbagging it. I know what you did. I know what you did there. No, it's cool. I mean, I guess you could jerk around with it, but I don't think you can. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll look at it when I get WSJTX going. But anybody else in there wanted to say hi or ask a question? Come now. All right. So the challenge for tonight is to pack a bag to go do a SOTA/POTA activation tomorrow morning, in which we must succeed. There is no other option but succeeding. I'm bringing 2 radios, 2 antennas, possibly more. I'm bringing a 100-watt radio, and we'll be packing my bag live, but also taking your questions on SDRs and everything else that potentially came out of today's crazy live stream. So appreciate you hanging out there with us. All right, so hey, Paul, by the way, Paul, I haven't seen you in a little while. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm just hanging out in Florida and trying to nurse my back to health.
Right on. Good. Well, I hope you're doing well. Hope you're on the road to recovery there. So,
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
Yeah, right on. So Magic Man says, SOTA's easy, only 4 contacts, especially in SoCal. You can do everything on 2 meters. Well, that's true. We could do the whole activation on 2 meters, but I'm going to bring HF because why would you not? And no, it's not necessarily easy if you're backpacking in. In my case, I'm not backpacking in. That's why I'm bringing a 100-watt radio. So there you go. All right, so SDR questions. Anybody with an SDR question as we kick things off here?
Yeah, so I missed the first of that live stream. Is it just on the lower bands, or is it able to run on 2 meter, 70 centimeter stuff?
No, generally I use the SDRs more on the high bands than I do on the low bands. they're for high frequency stuff. In fact, mine will go up to 3-4 gigahertz, I believe. My SDR plays will do 3 gigahertz. I know.
That's high.
Yeah. So no, they'll do the whole. That's what's cool about them is they're kind of like the little utility tool of radio. You can just set up an SDR and you can receive all the signals. You just have to know what to point it at. You know.
So I just thought of a question, actually.
Yeah, go for it.
Are SDRs more sensitive at lower mega samples?
Are SDRs more sensitive at lower mega samples? It is my understanding that if your sample rate on your computer, as you're time slicing everything, is higher resolution, you will get better results. But it's usually at an exponential, not exponential necessarily, but at more of a degradation of performance. Like you could with an SDR suck your processor dry, or whatever your processing body is.
I honestly don't think it's my processor, but it seems like when I'm at the higher mega sample rate, like 20 on my hack, the noise floor is higher. But when I go down to like 1 mega sample, it's only scanning that 1 megahertz, and that 1 megahertz is a lot lower noise floor.
Right. It's like you just added filtering to you made the sample rate a very like brute force filter, if you will.
Yeah, that's actually one of the things I like about the Sun SDR is I can control that. I have 38 kilohertz up to 318 kilohertz. And if I go down to 38 kilohertz, I actually hear more clearer, but I don't have as much bandwidth to look at on the waterfall. But it's just it makes such a big difference to switch between those.
So I hope
also
that
keep in mind, just because your noise floor is lower isn't necessarily a good thing. It could mean your antenna is terrible for the band you're listening on.
Yeah, signal to noise ratio should always be one of the things that's the most important consideration for you.
Yeah, when I switch different widths or whatever, it doesn't change my noise floor. It seems like it's got more time to do the audio processing on the audio, and so I hear voices better with that smaller sweep or whatever.
The thing you got to worry about is when you still hear the voices and the radios are off.
Yeah, that happens to me too.
Yeah. So, all right, we're on. Let's see, we're getting.
Yeah, people are asking. I don't know if you're seeing it, but people are asking about Adsb antennas.
Yeah, so I linked to the antenna that I have on my house for Adsb, and oddly enough, of course, like I have had that Adsb Pi server running for months since I got home from Hamvention. Maybe not that far, but for months now. And I turned it off to show everybody on the live stream, and I plugged it back in, and it's not come back online. And I'm like, the light's on. Hello, Raspberry Pi. The light's on. It shows up on my network, but it's not pinging Adsb. I wanted to show you all how good this antenna is. It's very, very good. And I've actually split it between two SDRs, and it's still really, really good. So the one that I linked is a very good antenna.
It's an active antenna, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
No. Well, unless it's getting it off the Pi, but I don't think it is. The Pi doesn't work that way.
Yeah, and I've seen some, like I think Tech Minds or somebody like that was talking about an active Adsb antenna that he liked. Mm-hmm. And I thought, man, those have to be active, because it seems to me that they're awfully expensive.
I got the antenna I have. I can hear down into Mexico for Adsb. Like I can pick up Las Vegas airplanes. That's 250 miles away over Adsb. I wish I could show you guys how crazy my signals are on this antenna, but I don't know why it's not running. It's very frustrating.
And what did that antenna cost, though?
Shoot, I don't know. Hold on, let me pull up the website.
Because it seemed like when you were doing the reviews of those Adsb dongles and the
Oh, I
and
haven't.
the antennas.
I
is
haven't
like,
done the new video. There's a new video coming where I'm going to talk about like what I really really like. It's this. Let's see. So this antenna is. Oh, what the hell? It's unavailable. This is basically this is the antenna I have though. Oh shoot. That's not good. I have to find a replacement now.
new model.
New model. Yeah. Anyway, that was the one I bought, and now it's not available. But it works really well.
Yeah.
The one that's not available works really well. Hey, go figure.
If you don't mind, I don't want you to have to show it on the screen, but can you check your orders and see what you paid for that?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I know where it came from. It came from that. No, I take it back. It came from those radar box guys. I'm using the same antenna from the radar box guys. Hey, thank you for Paleo Green 8 Yard for subscribing on Twitch. Thank you. Hold on. Radar box? It's radar box, right? Yeah, AirNav radar box. Okay, so hold on. This is the antenna I'm using exactly. Hold on. No. Get out of there. I don't want to see your planes.
Although that's interesting.
Yeah, no. Okay, let's go to the shop. Do they not have the antennas anymore? Yeah, go to Amazon. Go. This is it. That AirNav Adsb 1090 megahertz outdoor antenna with SMA and radar box flight stick bundle. Oh, not the bundle. You don't need the bundle. There you go. You save like $4 by not bundling it, I guess. But so if you want the dongle, you can get the dongle for an extra $4. But this thing's a rock star. It's very good. It's a very good antenna.
Yeah, that's not as expensive as I thought.
I'll grab it. Hold on here. I'm dropping it in Discord.
Can I share my ADSB project real fast?
Yeah, man. Go ahead. I don't care.
So we did. So I did a build where I did a couple of pies to combine some different signal strengths together.
It's a regular pie
deployed
shop.
a solution for our airport. And so I combined 2 pies together off the same antenna, and we actually publicize our local ADSB traffic, which includes our ground vehicles too. We installed 978 megahertz transmitters in our vehicles so planes can see us when we're out in the movement area.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a fun project to let me deploy some pies for work purposes.
Right on. You guys there? Am I?
Yeah.
Okay, I was screwing around with my transmitter. Apparently, I'm not transmitting FT8 right now, so something else. So among everything that had to have broken, that also broke. So I'll have to get back to that in a second.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the specs on that antenna.
Man, everything's just falling apart today.
I know. Seriously.
Yeah. Where is the length of the... Oh, 30. Man, 30 feet's all? That's all the coax they give you?
You don't want a ton of coax on 1080. Like
Well, yeah, but you want it up high, don't you?
you do, but yeah. I mean, I see where you're coming from, but yeah.
Does height really matter? Because you have line of sight with the sky, right?
No, yeah, but that would only... No, I mean, I've got too many houses around me. All the houses
extends-
would block
It
it.
extends your horizon, but the main thing that you want is signal strength. So, if I don't know, if my option was be at 10 feet and keep my coax run short, or go to 30 feet, I'm not sure it'd be a worthwhile trade, especially if it's not like uber expensive coax.
Yeah, no, I would... 30 feet and some really good M&P coax.
I don't even know, does MMP make stuff for microwave? Because even LMR 400, I did not get good results at like a 50-foot run.
Oh, I love LMR 400. That's what I'm running on the Discone right now.
Oh, I love LMR 400 too, Josh, but at 1090 megahertz, your there's a lot of loss there.
That's why I installed Hardline, Evan. Now I just run full
Yeah.
Hardline. No, I'm kidding. I'm not doing that.
Right.
Well, and that the size of that coax, even at 30 feet, you're going to have attenuation pretty high.
Right.
Yeah.
I just want to throw that out there based on my experience because I had like a 60-foot run LMR just because it's where the antenna was easily accessible, and I actually heard more by putting a little 1090 whip with some gain on it. It wasn't the real short stubby whip, but I put it right on the SDR and put it in my window, and that performed as good or better than going through 60 feet of coax. So be judicious about that and weigh it out, you know.
Oh.
Well, it's weird because the disc cones go up to what, 3 gigahertz? So I don't know why they wouldn't cover 1090.
Well,
And in
my
fact,
opinion,
there's just no
some disc cones don't go up that high.
well, mine does.
Some do,
like Steven
some don't.
said,
Though.
there's no gain at that frequency either. You'd be better served with something with, I mean, that one that Josh shared and that Steven shared are like 5.5 dBi, which is a little bit of gain.
The Comet, the one that I have on the roof is it Diamond? Diamond or Comet? Both of them are pretty damn good as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I've got the Comet, and honestly, I've run Adsb from the SDR Uno, and I get tons of planes because I'm so damn close to 3 different airports. Because there's DFW, Meacham, and or it's not Meacham, but anyway, there's one over a few miles from me, and then there's the one that this side of the radio works at, which is down in downtown Dallas. So I'm surrounded by all these airports, and I don't think I need anything that great.
So here's an interesting question. Tan Hat asked it in the chat, and yes, I'm getting people replying to me. Oh my God, come on. Hold on one second. I'm going to clear this out. Make sure we're making these logs correct. Otherwise, I'm going to get in QSLs and I don't have the logs to back it up. Oh my God. What just happened to my... And now my logger's not working? All right, hold on. Let me make sure I'm logging this correctly. What a pain. What happened to everything? It got screwed up. Oh, he's not responding.
I see the question that he's asking. I had a pan adapter on my IC735 here a while back, and I had issues with it with my SDR switch that I had in line with it. I couldn't even use my tuner. Everything would mess up, and I just quit using a pan adapter for it.
All right, so let me answer the question then. So, sorry, I wasn't talking about the pan adapter thing. My logger was all screwed up in the background, but we're good. All right, so, yeah, Noah's after me. Noah, I'm going to tell Leia about tonight's live stream. She's going to go on a tear on the podcast next week, so make sure you listen. Okay, so pan adapters, there's 2 schools of thought for pan adapters. A pan adapter is both displaying the radio that you're using's waterfall that it's hearing. That has value. There's also just having a standalone waterfall that you can view for any band on a separate antenna. That also has a lot of value. Generally, I like radios that can do antenna where you have a vertical versus horizontal polarized, an antenna. What's the term? Somebody dive in the chat and tell me. Where you can... Nobody? Diversity. Thank you. Always Jody. Always Jody. Oh, okay. Antenna diversity. So I love having a vertically polarized antenna and a horizontal antenna. And if you can't do that on your 7300, which you generally can't, there's no reason not to just use the antenna that's attached to your radio in the form that it is, and then have the other side of the polarization on an SDR or a receiver of some type. If you're talking pan adapters are generally like devices that go into radios to provide a video output or something like that, so you can display what they're seeing, or hook it up to an SDR like an SDRplay or whatever. SDRplays seem to be the way that a lot of the radio companies are going with either their attachments, physical attachments for like the 7300, or just a sidecar receiver option. those are kind of the way they go for HF, but you could just have a standalone receiver for whatever you're doing. The problem you'll find is losing frequency control. So when you shift frequency on your VFO, you'd like your pan adapter to follow along with you too, and that's where the complexity and often the cost of these radios come in. The reason why the 7610 costs what the 7610 does is because it has multiple antenna inputs, its own pan adapter, and you can do diversity off of it, and they will lock and follow each other. The twin VFOs will follow each other as you slide around. So other recommendations in chat would be great for people who have done pan adapter solutions on radios that don't have them.
Doesn't MFJ have a little box with a transmit receive?
The SDR TR device, yeah. The problem is locking the VFOs together.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I've got the I have the DX Engineering version, the RTR2, and it's got an SDR output. But you're right. Yes, the VFOs do not lock. It just make sure you don't blow up your SDR when you transmit. All it does, really.
Brett Glass is over on the Twitch side. I am not familiar with the Hobby PCB SDRs. Has anybody used the Hobby PCB SDRs?
Nope.
I've never even heard of them.
Yeah. I have not either. So there you go. Steven in chat says you can use OmniRig to interface SDR Uno to your radio VFO. So that makes sense. SDR Uno is kind of designed to do that. If I could make the statement.
So what software out of the box has the most decoders in it?
Oh, well, there.
DMR, D-Star, YSF, FT8, ArtRiddie, CW.
Very few actually have those decoders in the box.
OpenWebRx does, but the problem with OpenWebRx is that it's difficult to set up, but it does provide you, like if you connect your SDRplay to it or any SDR to it, it can you can access it from any website. So it basically creates a website, and then on the website you can browse to the website, and then all of those decoders are there. It looks a lot like the software that the Lime SDRs do, but it has all the decoders built into it. So
that's cool. And is that what is that for the Hermes?
No, it's free. Now it will drive. I mean, it'll drive a Hermes as a web SDR, but no, I've used it with the SDR Uno. In fact, that's mainly how I used it, and I connected up. It comes as a Pi image, and then you load that image on the Pi, and then you plug your SDR into it, and then there's a bunch of crapping setup that you have to do that I have complained about to the developers over and over and over again, where you basically go in and you tell it, this SDR has this many slices in it, and it's just this complex mess. But if you go through that complex mess and then set up all the bands you want to cover, amateur, 49 meter, whatever you want to do, 144 megahertz, you do all of that, and then you get this wonderful web interface that has basically everything in it, and it supports AirSpy and SDR Uno and a bunch of different ones out of the box. And I think with some of the main ones, other than SDR Uno, like AirSpy and some of the other ones, the setup is less. But anyway, it's just really good software. But I kept thinking, well, if they can do it, why the hell can't anybody else do it? SDR Console and all these other guys that put these really great interfaces out there, but where the hell's the decoders?
That's true. Generally, I've always found that like when you want to decode a thing, you have some kind of like sidecar application or something along those lines that you're running alongside it.
Yeah,
You know?
but that's the thing. I mean, SDR Uno has all that rolled into it. So those sidecars are rolled into it.
Sure.
That's exactly what they're doing with SDR Uno. They've taken it open source, inviting developers to code all those plugins. No extra rigs, nothing needed.
But I mean, those are well-known things that you should be able to do out of the box to me. FT8, DMR, D-Star, YSF, those should just be there. I shouldn't even have to load a plugin for that.
Well, that's an interface that they took over when they acquired that, and you just don't have any other SDR company out there that's run by hams and engineers working with users and other hams to make probably what will be the best SDR for use with rigs or without.
Craig, well, I generally agree that I like SDR Uno the most as far as using an SDR. And I think the plugins are generally very straightforward. I also see Don's point of view where it's all like boxed in, but maybe users don't want all that stuff boxed in. They want to be able to just download the thing they're looking for, right?
That's one of the reasons why after almost a year playing with dongles and some of the overseas, I went on the list like everybody else did to get my crack at, the first SDRplay, the RSPDX. Yours is a better version, obviously. And I already have the Kenwood radio that they've put all the effort into, and I don't have to figure out.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though. I love my RSP1A. I used it for years on this channel. It was my primary SDR for everything. The reason why I got the Duo, it was for one reason. It's just so that I can have two tuners. I can run two simultaneous tuners so that when I do a VHF UHF radio antenna test, I have two active listening tuners that I can record the audio off of and do a signal report on. That was why I did that. That was it. I paid all that extra money just for that capability. If you don't need that, then you don't need the RSP Duo, from my point of view.
Yeah, look at that link that I dropped in chat from Gigaparts.
One of the questions I was hoping to catch from you tonight, and we've had this up in Discord earlier this week, was the crossover problem with that RF, because as you know, the RSP plays they're all set at 0 decibel gain, and you can run plus 10 for 10 seconds at most before all your front end diodes melt down, and you got to send it back for new diodes.
What was the question? I didn't hear a question.
The question how you've been dealing with some of the crossover that literally just makes its way through ground even when the RSP is playing, when you have it actually within full wavelengths of your transmitting antenna. Literally at the point now where I'm over 100 meters between antennas. I'm still catching enough crossover that it's overloading.
What's the radio's overloading?
No, he's basically when he transmits ham radio or whatever, just the relative space between receive antenna and transmit antenna is causing it to melt down. Are you talking about just feed line? I mean, are you actually isolating the receiver, or is it still connected to its own receiving antenna? What's the story?
It's got an RF sensing switch on there now. I was getting ready to try the one that you all have been talking about using the MFJ, but it seems like the only time I can actively prevent the RSP DX that I have, single input VFO, from going up close to 0 decibels is if I make an open switch.
You may need to go down that road if you're blowing up your SDRs while you're transmitting physically adjacent to them. You may have to have some kind of RF sense that will drop it out. Don, you want to hear a funny story about this SDR?
Yeah, sure.
So Gigaparts sent me this thing, and
okay.
I plugged it into a laptop, and I had a bunch of emails that they had someone involved with them in the email giving me instructions, and I thought I followed the instructions to their letter, and I couldn't get the software to run. I couldn't get the software to identify the unit. I didn't know what was going on, and I'm like, I don't know. I can't really do anything with this. What do you want me to do? And they were like, well, it should have worked. And I'm like, okay, I've tried it on 2 laptops now, and it's not working. I'm like, but also, like, what is this competing against? Like, what, because it looks like an RTL-SDR. It's the size of an RTL-SDR.
Yeah.
And they're charging $280. And
Well,
I'm
I know why.
Okay, why?
Go ahead.
Why are they charging $280?
Okay, look at who makes it.
Kiwi Nano?
No, Expert Electronics. What else do they make?
I don't know.
The radio that's sitting in front of me.
Yeah.
That is the basis. That particular SDR dongle is a lot of the components that are inside this. Now, they've improved them quite a bit, but it's basically, and the Expert Electronics software, the software I'm running on this radio, works on that Calibre. It doesn't transmit, but it does everything else.
So that's they're the guys who make that like $8,000 SDR too, right?
Oh yeah, the one with the
computer built in. Yeah. So there was a really weird time with me and Gigaparts. I was like, hey, I want to review that $8,000 jobber. Send it to me. I'll review it and send it back. And they're like, okay, cool, we'll send it. And then they sent that.
Oh.
And I'm like, well, that's not the same thing.
Yeah, Jason got the ham radio 2.0 got that expensive $8,000
Don't
job.
tell him this. Don't tell Josh that.
No, I know.
I would figure he knew it.
I knew. Yeah, Jason's been working with the Gigaparts guys for a really long time. So is Eric. Eric got it from them, I think, too. I hold no ill will to anyone on who wants to send me stuff. I don't care, because to be honest with you, the video might get a lot of views, but how many people are actually going to go buy the damn thing?
Nope.
It's $8,000. Like it.
I would highly recommend that you stay away from that radio. And if you want a Sun, which I really love, love this radio.
Yeah.
Get the Sun SDR DX. And if you want to spend a little less money, go ahead and get the 20-watt version. There's nothing wrong with that.
I like their equipment. Apparently, after I couldn't get after their dongle wouldn't work on my computer, that little dongle wouldn't work on my computer. They didn't really want to do anything with me anymore. And I'm like, okay, fine. I'm like, I don't care. I like the Sun SDR. I think that's a nice little sweet spot. That's kind of what I asked to review. I was like, I just want the one that like people would buy. I don't think people are going to buy the little dongle for $280, and
no.
I don't think that they're going to buy the $8,000 one. I want this little, I gave them all the things, and I ranked them in the order that I'd like to review them, and I got that.
Yeah, and they have an $800 version of the Sun SDR also, the QRP version, but it's just disappeared. I don't know. They may be dropping it from their line, but I wish they wouldn't, because it's a really nice small package, and it's it's the same as the DX or the Pro in terms of capabilities and everything. So it has all of that. It just doesn't have the transmit power because they didn't put the same like finals in it, but everything else is the same, and they're great. I mean, like I said, great radio, love it. So it, and some of the things the software does, that the reason I was even bringing that up is just that I think the software is so really unique in what it does. And they're in the process right now of generating their new version of the software. The Sun SDR or the EESDR 3 is in beta right now, and I'm running it. The SDR 2 has been out for a while, and it's solid. And you can run either one of those on that dongle. And the thing is, obviously, again, it would be receive only. But it would have all of the capabilities of that software. And like I said, the software has capabilities in it that I just don't see even in, that's one of the reasons I'm not running the Flex now, is because of the audio processing from the receive side that allows me to deal with a high noise floor that I just don't have in any radio but the FT101, the 101, and the FTDX10, the ASUS have that capability, but theirs is automatic. I don't know what they're doing, but my noise floor just drops away. And on the Sun, I actually have several different audio processors that I can bring in and out to bring a voice out of the noise and process it so I can hear it. So it's made Parks on the Air, just for hunting, Parks on the Air from home, enjoyable to me, whereas it wasn't before.
Interesting.
That $8,000 radio, is it? Are you talking about the Apache Labs?
No, but the Apache Labs are like, those are top tier radios. But the no, it's the Sun SDR MB1.
Okay, I got you. My landlord's also a ham, and he runs the 100 watts Apache Lab software.
Yeah,
That's
funny
an
thing
HRO
is-
jobber, right? HRO is the one that sells the Apache Labs.
I think you can only get them from Apache Labs now.
Oh, really?
I think.
Gigaparts originally was selling them, and they did have a 10-watt version of it that was a little less than that.
Well, you know what a Hermes light is, right?
An Hermes, thank you very much.
Yes. But that is an Anon. That is an Anon. It's the Anon with basically it's the internal of the Anon with a 5-watt out. And by the way, the guy that makes the Hermes Light 2 is no longer making it. So
Really?
there's no, yeah, he bowed out during the pandemic when it was getting hard to get components and he was going to have to redesign the radio around the new components. He said, guys, I just can't do it anymore.
Right.
But Anon sells the Hermes, which is not the light version, but it's the actual radio that's inside it. And I think that's about a $300 or $400 radio. Runs all the same software, but you only get 5 watts out.
There's a video idea, Don. I just figured it out. I'll go buy my wife the $10,000 Hermes handbag, and I'll put a Hermes light in it with an antenna. And the only way that she can have the bag is if she uses it for ham radio purposes.
Yeah.
There's the trick.
Well, I don't know. Against that handbag, I would get a Hermes or an actual Anon 7000 DLE or an not the 8000. I understand the 8000's not that great.
I'm gonna tell my wife. I'm like, hey, babe, what if you contacted Hermes and explained that there was a radio called the Hermes? We could call it the Hermes light, and we would do handbags on the air, purses on the air. Says Ed Wired exactly. I get a super chat on YouTube. Thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it. We are simulcasting to YouTube. K Pelton 30 KLP. I don't know what any of that means, says, hello, Josh. What is the online version of SDR that I can use on my phone or tablet? I like Kiwi SDR, but you said phone or tablet, so you might also want to include Web SDR in your searches. Web SDR works better with phone.
An actual dongle on my phone.
Now, yeah, you can do that too, but he said online version. So really quick, actually, I brought that out. I didn't have the time to talk about it with all the kerfuffle that happened, but where is my cable? Here's my cable. So if you go
just
back,
have to pay.
No, you don't have to pay. If you go back and look at, I did a video talking about you need to buy the inexpensive $100 tablet. This is the Lenovo tablet. The Lenovo tablet, you can plug the SDR directly into it with this cable, and you can use the SDR right on your tablet with a $100 Lenovo.
I'm using
tab.
the dual input on the phone with the RTL-SDR. It's the software that is trying to hit me up for more money.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, there's a Kiwi SDR application that you can download for what is it, Android. I have that on my tablet. It works great.
All right, here we go. We're knocking down Spain right now.
Josh, could you explain real quickly what's the difference between Web SDR and Kiwi SDR?
Yeah, two separate hardware technologies and software interface. Kiwi SDR and Web SDR. Personally, I like the Kiwi SDR a little bit more. They're the people who have brought us TDOA on like an online capable TDOA for doing direction finding over HF. Kiwi SDR is the one that I did the Cuban jamming thing that was going on. That was the units that I was interfacing with online. I personally like Kiwi SDR more, but Web SDR, I'm fine with them too. If you've liked
Web
that.
SDR's interface is very Web 1.0.
It's very
it is.
It's very
Exactly.
GeoCities. It's a very GeoCities presents radio.
And I think on Web SDR, there's no, like, the hardware requirement is more broad in that you can run many different types of SDRs and just kind of roll it into the software.
So
that's exactly too.
The devices that people buy from Kiwi SDR to become a Kiwi SDR station is actually a very good SDR. Like they're not cheap. They're not giving those things away at all. So those Kiwi SDRs that you can log into, those are people who are like really passionate about it. And generally I've had really good experience on most of them, unless they're just like offline or whatever.
Yeah.
Those Kiwi stations are awesome.
You can only run the Kiwi SDR sites with the branded hardware.
Yep.
You can only you can listen to them through their website if you want to feed a radio.
Yeah, obviously, I know hosting.
But good clarification, Evan, for anyone who didn't catch that. If you want to be a hosting site, you have to use their branding hardware. But anyone can go to the website, Kiwi SDR, and bring up, you know what, I'll just do it. What the hell? That's why I'm here, right?
RX-TX.com, I believe, has every SDR in the world that's on a server, and I just filter out everything but Kiwi.
So Kiwi SDR, if you bring up their website, if you click on the map, upper left-hand corner here, I just use the map. So let's go check out what's going on in, or not. Did I just lose the stream again? Are you guys all there?
Yeah, no, we're...
I lost the map. Where's the
looks
map?
fine on Twitch.
Yeah, I can't see the map either.
Okay, hold on. There's two maps.
I tried to get in through my web. It's not coming up either.
So if you go to kiwisdr.com, there's two maps. If you scroll down, it's right here. List to maps. There's two. So the first one is let's go to links. Let's see if that one works. And maybe loading. Bueller. Oh, there it is. Okay, so yeah, go to kiwisdr.net and scroll down to the maps. So you can see a lot of European stations. Let's go to. Oh, hey. I like Poland. Wow. Belarus is okay. Let's go to Belarus and see what's going on out there. So I like this. I like this interface more. I just like it more.
$406 for a Kiwi SDR.
Yeah, they're not giving them away at all.
To Josh's point, though, people that have those are typically pretty serious about it, and they tend to be on pretty solid antennas. Whereas it seems like with Web SDRs, there's like 4 good ones, and the rest are all crap. And I always forget the good ones when I need them.
Isn't it University of Utah that's running the Central Web SDR project?
Yeah, that and Half Moon Bay is generally a really good receiver for Web SDR. If you want to play around with that,
they're growing their university networks pretty quickly. I've noticed, at least in the last year, they've branched out.
I've tried using some of the ones they have over here, like on more towards the east, like in Georgia and Florida, because I was trying to listen to some 40-meter stations around here, and every single one of them was just deaf as a post and rocking an S8 noise floor.
You just hit a secret I use to find open bands. I scan, like everybody does, an SDR in the area I'm trying to DX.
All right. I'm going to run an ad really quick. You guys, I have to run to the restroom. Apparently all that trying to troubleshoot and fix everything, I need to run to the restroom, so I'll be right back. You guys keep talking.
Jeez. Man, the Kiwis are so expensive, and then apparently they only work with Beagle boards.
I think it's. Don't they include the Beagle board? Or
Question, Don.
I'm looking on MLNS's deal, and they're specifically saying that it's only compatible with that. But it sounds like from their website that you can buy it without the Beagle board. I don't know why you would, because this one's only 259 pounds, which is less than the $409 for the Kiwi SDR, the standalone.
Look up FlyDog SDR. That's the one that can work with the Pi.
Oh, there's a ton that worked with Pi.
What was the one you mentioned specifically? The fellow that just said the one that works.
Right.
What was the name?
The FlyDog SDR. Basically, it's a Kiwi SDR clone that basically is on the Pi.
Don, a question. Going back to the sun. I've looked at those before. I'd love to have a 2-meter ham in the shack, so to speak. Convince me. Why should I spend more than my Yaesu budget right now?
Man, a 101D costs more than a. So I don't know what Yaesu you're looking at, but if it's not the 101, no, sorry. The big difference, I guess, would be that I like the software. The other thing was that, like, I've got all these controls that I can use to control. I don't know if I've got that interface up right now. We have it up. Let me show you. I'm going to take a screenshot and drop it in the chat real quick. Just a second.
That and the question I always have for these SDRs is how's the receiver sensitivity, selectivity?
Well, see, here's the thing. Like, there's and you'd have to follow these guys, but there's some guys out there that are just like really, really into receive audio and transmit audio, mainly transmit audio, and their radios of choice are either a Sun SDR or an Anon. And there's reasons for that, but the Sun SDR, and let me show you let me drop the link or the picture. Okay, I dropped the picture in chat. If you look at the picture in chat, at the bottom, I have the audio processing that's up. And there's a ton of audio processing that you can do, including very detailed sound shaping. And I don't do it. You can tell in there that I don't have any of that stuff turned on because I don't understand it. Guys do understand it, love it. And they'll spend hours adjusting all of those things to shape their sound so that it sounds. And there's a guy that just, he used to run Sun all the time. He's on YouTube. And if you listen to him, his audio, what you hear on YouTube, like when he's on YouTube recording it, and what's going out on the radio, like when I'm sitting in my shack listening to him, it's exactly the same. His voice is so pure. Well, he recently upgraded to an Anon because he wants even better audio. What he's looking at is a technology called Pure Signal that over processes or double processes the audio going out to the transmitter. And it's available in a few radios, including the Hermes Lite, by the way. But there's some stuff you have to do on the Hermes to get it to work. It's not hard to do, but doable. Anyway, and it can cause your audio to be very, very clean when it comes out of the radio, almost AM level. And then there's KG2MM, I think. I believe that's his call. He's also on YouTube, and he is a sound engineer of some type, because when you see in his shack when he's doing his live streams, he's got a audio mixer by sitting next to him that is literally 4 feet long. Of like, it's literally a 4 foot long mixer, and he mixes all of his stuff going into his radios. Now he runs a 7300, he runs a Sun SDR, and he runs an Onan 200, and he loves all of them, and he can make the 7300, the audio on the 7300, sound as good as any radio you've ever heard. But he processes the crap out of it through his mixer boards and everything to get it to sound just the way he wants it, which when you hear him, it really sounds good. So that's the reason. That's the reason you get one of these radios. To turn it around to answer your question, that's the reason you get one of these radios. The reason I do it is, did I capture the top? So if you see there's the noise reduction button that I virtually never use. It's right under where the frequency is shown. There's also one that says ANC, which is automatic noise cancellation. Works very well at getting rid of that noise, that hiss that you're hearing, and bring the audio out so that you're hearing a guy talking instead of that hissing. There's APF, which is an audio processing filters, I believe, and then ANF is the thing we all love that keeps tuners from blowing us out of the water when they tune up on top of our frequency.
Yeah.
But the ANC and the APF are those two things that I use to bring the audio out.
All right, I'm going to have to do a bit of a scene change here. Sorry, that's what I was mucking around with. So we're going to have to switch over from SDR chat to getting ready for hot radio activation chat. I'm going to build a bag right now and make sure I don't leave anything behind. And I'm going to include you in all the fun of that. But let's go around the room really quick. Is there anybody out here that has just joined us, part of this group, that here for the first time would like to say hi or ask a question? Come forward. All right. So that means we can roll right into YouTuber chat. I think we only got one. I think it's Scott, Ham Radio for Non-Techies. How's it going?
Well, going pretty good, Josh. I have to say, I'm really glad that the difficulties you had tonight on the stream didn't happen last weekend during the build.
It would have made that stream a lot more difficult, but it happens. If you stream every week or multiple times a week, you're inevitably going to run into problems. You just have to roll with the punches. That's all there is to it.
Oh yeah, it happens.
Yeah,
but yeah, good stream tonight. I'm still learning about SDR stuff. I haven't really gotten into it, just because my really good computer's upstairs, but my ham shack is downstairs. So there'll be a lot of wire and cable, and probably irritate the wife if I did that.
Yeah.
You have an SDR, Scott.
Which one?
705.
Oh yeah, well, never thought of it that way.
So who?
Yeah,
sorry, Scott. What do you got going on this week? You got anything fun coming up?
Well, I had a question from a viewer about making VHF contacts. He just gotten his ham ticket, and he bought a radio and was having problems. But I was like, it's going to take me forever to sit here and type up all the things you might need to look at to fix this. I said, well, why don't we just turn this into a show? So
Right.
I'm sending him out, and that show's coming out on Monday. It's about 20 minutes long. I'm trying to give people options for things, not just for him, but for anybody else that might come into a situation where they're new in the radio, they buy an HT, and they try to make a contact and then don't. So I think his problem is mainly that he didn't program it for the repeater in his area, because he had no idea about PL tones or anything like that. So
yeah,
given the resources for those things, and it should be a pretty good show. I don't know if I'll be here next Saturday, because next Saturday is my 51st birthday, and my motorcycle club. Yeah, my MC.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. My MC's throwing me a huge party here, and they've labeled the 151 club, so that can only mean there's gonna be lots of rum.
151.
Nice.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah.
That's how you die.
Oh
Rum
man,
and barbecue.
That was Leia's favorite shot. Oh god, Leia was the worst, man. Leia.
151.
Yeah. We would. Leia. Okay. So Leia's not in the chat, so she can't defend herself. But Leia was the type of girl who would roll into the bar and just start buying shots for people. And whenever she bought shots for other people, she'd buy me a shot. At least she'd get me one or two of them, and it was always 151. It was always 151. She was. And then whoever wanted, and then people were like, "Oh, I'm gonna take a shot with Josh. I'll take a shot with Josh. Take a shot with Josh." And it was 151. It was like, okay, I don't know that I want to take a shot with Josh anymore.
Oh, my wife got me a pretty cool early birthday present today.
Okay, what is it?
It's not ham radio related, but it's a new addition to my drum set, or 2 new additions to my drum set.
Hey, are you following? Do you follow Dank Pods? Do you know who Dank Pods is?
I do not.
He's a drummer. He's a classically trained jazz drummer who does live Twitch drumming sessions.
Oh wow!
But they're like internet meme culture drum sessions. So there's these crazy mashups of songs with like just banging drums. It's really cool. Dank Pods is like the best. He's like one of the best YouTubers. One of my favorite YouTubes, no question.
Yeah, I've got a guy I watch on Twitch and on YouTube on Saturday mornings. He does like a 3.5 hour thing where he pulls in some decent money as a YouTuber, but you pay him anywhere from $10 to $50, and he'll play your song. If you send him $50, he'll play whatever song you want immediately. You send him $10, he puts you in a queue with other people who pay $10.
Yeah.
Really, really good guy. He's got a really good channel. I pretty much I watch Coffee and Ham Radios in the morning on Saturdays, and right after that I go into his stream and I'm watching that till like noon.
I love catching a good Coffee and Ham Radio, but man, those guys stream so goddamn early for me.
Yeah,
well, so early.
I'm only up that early because my dogs get me up. So
yeah. Well, my dogs wake me up, but the first thing in my mind is not Coffee and Ham Radio. It's just coffee, and then try and get back to sleep with a little coffee in me. It seems to perk me up a little bit. But yeah, no, I get you. I get you.
Man, 4 hours of the cool part of the day is gone by 9 o'clock.
I mean, you and Ray Novak could get along really well. Ray Novak's a real early guy, and oh man, I can't. Well, I like darkness. I like sitting in darkness and just working on my projects in complete and utter like late night darkness.
I do too, but when I have to, and I did today, I had to go out and work on my antenna. Mm-hmm. It's too freaking hot by 10 o'clock.
Absolutely.
I have gotten on the roof at 10 p.m. to go F around with ham radio antennas and a headlamp on my head. I have definitely done this. I have definitely done it.
Yeah, I'm a nighttime guy.
Well, yeah, nighttime's one thing, but daytime in the Texas sun, that's a whole different story.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Blake, I think you're way down the noise. Your mic might be turned away from you or something.
Is this better?
A little bit. You're going the right direction though, so keep doing whatever you're doing. Maybe put the microphone in your mouth.
How about now?
Oh, that's just overdriven. What?
And still light.
Yeah, still light, but overdriven, like you're actually clipping. What's going? Is everybody hearing Blake like I am? He's standard volume to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he sounds rough.
You got something going on, Blake. You're super low.
How about now?
Oh, that was it. Okay.
Discord volume was down. That was the problem.
Oh, okay.
No.
So you went for the gain knob. You're like full gain. Yes, all the gain.
Well, I went to speak earlier and I had the gain turned off on my thing, so it just. What I said was here in Florida, like I'll go out, I'll be working on my car at 8 p.m. and I'm not the only one. There's like 4 or 5 guys in my neighborhood that do the same thing because you just can't go out there in the middle of the day on Saturday. It's just too damn hot.
Saturday, it's any day of the week.
Well, yeah, but that's when we work on our car.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm getting to where, because I'm working at home, I will go around 3 o'clock in the afternoon and I will sleep till 5 because it is so damn hot. I just, even inside, I melt.
Well, look at the bright side, Don. By the end of November, summer in Texas will end.
True.
And then you get ready for whatever comes.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's usually not too bad. I kind of like the winters.
Yeah, I mean, I like the winters out here too. Hell, people get in wetsuits and they'll still surf in the winter here in California. So I mean, because the ocean maintains its temperature pretty well.
Well, I mean, if I go out and do a POTA during the winter, I can literally go out in the car and just sit in the car, and I don't have to run the heater. In the summer, the air conditioner won't even keep up with the heat coming into the car.
All right, so let's see. Do we have any other YouTubers? I want somebody to scream out if they're on the YouTubes doing the ham radio thing. Love to give you a moment to talk about it.
Yeah. I will say this earlier, Josh.
Yeah.
Ham Radio TV was in the chat.
No way. The other
Yeah.
Jason, the fifth Jason.
Yes.
Was he really? Oh, that's super cool. I missed him. Damn. What a good guy. He's Scott, he you remember Ham Radio TV? Scott, you remember Ham Radio TV, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so he's the guy up in Vacaville, California, and he got he's working with the repeater site owner at that really cool repeater location where they do glider. It's a glider takeoff location. And he got access to it to build it all up, and it was going to be this big thing. And then he got bit by the motorcycle bug, and I think he's like full just touring the country and screwing around with motorcycles and going on RV trips with his family. Pretty cool guy, really cool guy. I think he's still. I think he's still YouTubing.
I have yet to strap a HF rig to my Harley and go out somewhere and try it out.
Well, you don't have to do it while you're riding. You just put it in your bag, right, and just carry it with you.
It's so much more fun doing it while I'm riding, though, with the pipes and everything loud behind me. And
I can't hear you, OM. I can't hear you. You're gonna have to talk louder. What's going on?
Put a couple of ham sticks off the back.
Yeah, there you
Exactly,
go. The dual ham sticks like CB antennas on the side of your Harleys. Yeah, buddy.
Well,
yeah, buddy.
Give a signal report of 39 plus.
Did you ever see 741 when he put him on his bike?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he did a POTA activation with 2 ham sticks on his bike.
I mean,
now he was sitting still. I don't think he drove with him, but
I mean, a lot of people do it. There's a lot of motorcycle mobile. I mean, Bob's done it. I know that Julian has an electric bicycle that he, I don't think he runs it. He carries it with him and then charges both his. That's the coolest part is that you could charge your bicycle and charge your radio off the solar panels that you pack with you. I think that's kind of cool. But yeah, the whole thing's kind of awesome. I may have to build a bug out e-bike.
We used to have a member in our club here in the Huntsville Club. He would do bicycle mobile, and he had a 8-foot whip off the back of his bike with his 857. On the handlebars, and the body of it was in the basket in the back with a really huge battery, and he would do that while he was riding.
I love it. So how did he handle the the noise? So it was all in the helmet, and he had like a mic or something like that. What did he do? Like a PTT on the throttle or what?
I'm not quite sure. It's a bicycle. So he was pedaling.
Bicycle.
Bicycle. He was pedaling and all that.
yeah, because I'm wondering if this guy was pre LiPo 4,
right?
Like he was running around with lead acid in the back of the bike. Man, that would be tough.
One lead acid on the right side pannier back bag, right? Just dragging him down every time he pedaled. He would pedal like this, like he's pedaling.
He had a huge battery in the back there. He sent us a picture one time of him doing it, and it was watching him looking at the picture of how he was doing everything was just mind blowing.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, the guy, actually the guy that we heard that was doing single sideband on VHF, that guy, Fred, really good. He is the VHF dude out here in our area, Southern California, in our city. He's got a VHF bicycle. He's got a really good, well-appointed station. He does the whole thing, and yeah, he comes out. They do these cool little meetups. It's called it's called 2 Meter Simplex Group, is what it is, and they meet up at the local park. They'll bring out their radios and talk about it and stuff. And it's different from like a club because they literally just meet on simplex. It's really cool. I love that about it. It's I don't know. That feels very much the truth of radio, like the epitome of it. It's like we literally talk so much on simplex. Why don't we like go somewhere and talk in person? It's like, oh, okay, that's a novel concept. Let's do that. I love that.
Yeah, somebody on Coffee and Hammer. Oh, I know that Tom the Dilettante was asking if like there was a ham radio frequency that we all used when we're traveling, and I mentioned in the chat, I was like, well, 146.52, we got the sticker,
right?
And
always on 5.2 when I'm going out and about myself. Always on 5.2.
Yeah, and Ape was saying, yeah, I never get anybody on it. I've talked to people for hours on 5.2 when I'm traveling.
So that is I mean, you can ask Jason about this. So when Jason came to stay with me in 2019 to go up to Mount Pacifico for our hike, I picked him up at LAX airport. Got my Nissan Leaf, drove his ass back to my house, and I had it on simplex. That's all I had. I didn't have repeaters on or anything like that. I had APRS on the bottom and simplex on top. And we had just people chatting the whole drive home. And he was like, I've never seen any type of simplex comms like this. And that's like 20-something miles where it's just people just chatting on simplex the whole time.
Yeah,
Jason was very in shock when he came to Huntsville last year in our area. We have quite a big, huge 5.2 presence here in Huntsville.
I love it.
And when he came to town for the Hamfest, he was talking the entire time going up to the mountain.
Yeah, no, I love 5.2. I think that's the thing we got to push for technicians is get your antenna good or get your antenna straight. That makes you good on simplex. Anybody can hit a repeater with an HT. That's easy mode. You want a good simplex comms. That's what you want.
Yeah, I had to go to a funeral that was down on the west of Austin. So I had to go all the way down to Austin, which is 3-4 hours, and then turn and drive for another 2 hours. Well, during that entire drive on the way down there, I listened to your podcast, I listened to Frank's podcast, and whatever.
Frank? Wait, Frank the Tank?
Yeah, and I'll tell you what it was.
He has a podcast?
No. He was on 86 DMs. Sorry, it was actually Dennis's podcast.
I'm like, Frank's got a podcast now? Holy crap, I got to go listen to that.
He probably will, but
I feel really bad. I haven't listened to Dennis's podcast in a long time. I've been getting in my car and just doing CW, and that's it. And that's all I've been doing. So I haven't listened to podcasts or anything. But yeah, keep going. Sorry, Don.
Anyway, no, it's not a problem. So I got down anyway. On the way back, I didn't put any more podcasts, so I didn't have anything to listen to. So I just started calling out on 5.2, and I got a guy like an hour out. And I talked to him for the next 5 hours on 5.2. He and I were just chatting.
Oh, wow.
And not only did we do that, it was actually until I got to Dallas, and he was turning and heading east to New Mexico. And not only that, but, as we're driving along, there were people that were breaking in and, chatting with us. And, I mean, God, it made the trip so much quicker.
Oh yeah, I love a good simplex chat. I do pretty well down the South Bay where I'm at, but once I start going up in the mountains, simplex is a no-go generally.
By the way, your podcast also made the trip down quite entertaining too.
Oh, thank you, Don.
Didn't mean that, but
yeah, it's that podcast it got a life of its own. I am not in control of that podcast. I'm just there to do the editing. I appreciate that. There's a lot going on, and there's no way to rein that in. There's no way. That's just what it is.
Talking about 5.2 simplex, I think it was 2015, 16. We had an opening down here in Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi area that lasted 3 days, and you could literally talk from North Alabama to South Alabama
Oh, that's awesome.
And it lasted 3 days straight. I've never seen that. Probably won't ever see that again.
That's cool. I love. I mean, straight up, like I think that HTs are great, and a lot of the ham radio companies, it behooves them to sell HTs, right? HTs are super cool. They really are. But like if you want some good fun on ham radio, I think at your technician license, it starts at mobile radio. It really does, because you actually get some decent power to work with at 50 watts, and you can hear people. You can transmit well, particularly if you put up a good antenna at some decent height. I can talk, man. I've talked 100 miles away on VHF, which is just insane. Lucas Lotro, thank you so much for subscribing on Twitch. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. 10-4, good buddy. But yeah, it Simplex is where it's at for me on VHF. It is always on all my radios. I'm always listening. We got local people talking. I just love that about it. That's my favorite thing.
Yeah, and by the way, Tom the Dilettante, apparently, I mean, he's just gotten his license. And so that's why he was asking those questions. But apparently what he does is he has a little, on the back of his Lexus, he has this circle in it, and it says Channel 18. And what it means is that, like, he talks on GMRS Channel 18 when he's traveling, which I didn't even know about.
Hey, all right, so K5YVI is in the YouTube chat. Like, why is he not in the Discord? He's chatting on YouTube. Join us over in the Discord, man.
Come on, Joe Brett.
Come on, man. It's okay if you don't want to. Maybe working or something like that. It's cool. I understand. But you're welcome to join us, please. Always appreciated. All right, so I'm going to take this moment to transition a bit. I'm still going to be monitoring the FT8, but I've got to get ready for a big SOTA/POTA event. I am going off-road. We're going on a pretty aggressive trail, and I'm going with Randy, not a Rubicon. I'm getting in his Jeep. We're going to a fairly remote SOTA location with his not a Rubicon. And he wants to see what ham radio is all about in the portable sense. So what we're doing today, everybody here, we're going to build a kit. Well, I'm going to build it with my stuff, but you know, your recommendations are appreciated. I'm going to put together a kit to take so that we absolutely cannot fail. And also, I'm doing it for the lulz a bit too. So the radio that... The 100-watt radio I'm taking is the 857. Again, this is SOTA, so I don't need like a ton. I just need enough. So I'm going to... I expect that I won't have any problem with single sideband, but I'm also going to set this up for digital. So Jankopotamus laptops right here. So we're going to be setting that up as well. And I've got batteries all set. I've got my charge controller. I'm not going to screw anything up in front of Randy. Are you kidding? The only thing I think that I think that the only thing that would make Randy think that it wasn't like cool is the amount of time it takes. Because I'm taking two antennas. I'm taking the Chameleon antennas lefts, and I'm taking the Buddy Stick Pro. And I can see, because I'm gonna probably go to the Buddy Stick Pro as my primary. There will be a little bit of setup time for that. I just know there will be, right?
What about your Go Box?
What about?
Oh God, that's heavy.
Yeah,
rattling around inside of a Jeep would suck.
Yeah,
That's what I do with mine.
He's got a Jeep though. I've got a.
So do I. I beat the crap out of it, and it's fine.
I've got a vehicle with proper storage in the back.
And Josh, why don't you take your 20-meter whip and a spike, because that would be damn quick to put up.
Yeah, but I'll still have to adjust it. I'll still have to get out
a little bit.
Yeah.
So why not the pack 10 and fed half wave?
Because I'm going to put 100 watts through it.
It'll do 100.
100 watts.
Mike does 100 on it all the time.
I do 100 watts through mine all the time.
So just put it on a mast, right?
Yep, lean it into a tree and done deal. on the air.
But
Yeah.
that's POTA. If you're SOTA and you're up that high, there's no trees.
A mast with rocks around it. That's what Adam does. No,
Wow.
that's what he does.
Okay, I will definitely bring the the Pactena for sure. That is for sure. I will definitely do that. I will have to do that.
Hmm.
Can you spot?
And
Can you spot yourself on a GMRS frequency?
I don't think I can, man. I don't think I can.
no, if you're doing a POTA spot, it double checks the frequency that it's legal. Because
I've got my radio all set up for like APRS. If I have to do APRS to activate. The first thing though is I got to set this bad boy up, and I swear I have not spent enough time with this.
Oh,
So.
you know what would be really cool, Josh? I don't know if you want to try it.
Yeah.
But being able to do use your CW key to spot yourself through the RBN.
I can, but then I would be transmitting on that frequency, right?
On what frequency? No, but I mean, we would know that you're out there to look for you. Because I mean, how are you going to spot yourself otherwise? Cell service? You think you'll have cell service?
No. I'll do APRS. I'm already planned. I've already got the handheld ready for APRS.
Yeah, but do you have a iGate nearby?
Yeah, I'll be able to hit that.
Oh, okay, all right.
Well, I'm gonna post an alert when we end here so that people know to look for me.
Okay. And then what I would do is I'd take the 857, but I'd also bring the 891 just as a backup.
No, I'm taking the 857 and I'm bringing the 705 as a backup.
10 watts, man.
Oh, I have no problem. It's SOTA. I only need 4 contacts.
Oh, you're not going to do the POTA too?
No, I'm going to do the POTA too, but we're going to activate. Okay. You know what I mean? We're definitely going to be able to activate SOTA without problem.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you could probably do that on 2 meter.
How does one? Ah, there it is. Ah, yes. Okay, cool. So we got that. That's the one thing, and I can't. Let me see if I can. Hold on. Let me get the camera around here. Hold on. Doing all the things here. Oh, you can't even see it. All right. Anyway, so the detail. Oh, we're running out of wire space. So just like the 818, 817, like you have to tell it the digi mode. In this case, we're going to use user upper sideband. I believe that is what you need to do. By the way, if I'm falling back on FT8 to activate on 100 watts at, I think we're going to be at 8,000 feet above sea level. If I'm falling back on digital, we've got a problem. We have a big problem. I'm not worried about doing anything, but I'm over committing to all of this. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I think we're good.
I
think that's all I need.
At 8,000 feet, you could activate simply with the JAs that are trying to get you.
Yeah, that's right. Right. All right. So now I think if I don't have the setup for this. God damn it. All right, hold on. I gotta do a little bit of work here. Oh, it's too much live streams, man. I don't have all my scenes set up. So all right. So the idea here is twofold. I'm gonna try and go lightweight battery, but with some solar panels. I have 2 solar options available to me. A 100 watt foldable panel, which I don't really want to take because it's kind of big, and a 25 watt with a 9 amp hour battery. I think I'm just gonna take that, and I think I'll be fine.
How long do you plan on doing your thing up there?
If we're there for more than like 2 hours, I screwed something up.
Yeah,
9 amp hours should be more than adequate.
Yeah, the max I've ever used is 6 amp hours in a 2 hour window.
Yeah. That's kind of my thought. So all right, so we're gonna flip this around here.
Is this a location you've been to before, or is this something brand new for both of you?
No, well, he knows the off-road trail, and I've been to Big Bear many times for soda stuff. So it's a summit I haven't been to, so I don't know what to expect at that summit. But the summits I've been to, generally you have to backpack in, and we're not backpacking, we're jeeping in. So, we gotta roll a little differently.
if you got soft ground somewhere, it might not be a bad idea to bring up the Expedition.
Yeah, but Randy would not like the setup time on that, I'll bet.
No, but he sure as hell enjoy the propagation from it. Or the
on bring up what?
The DX Commander Expedition.
Oh no, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not gonna guy anything out. I'm trying not to guy anything out.
Ah, okay.
But yes, I hear what you're saying.
Have you looked to see if Randy has any like noise generating equipment on his Jeep?
Oh yeah, he's gonna sabotage it? Nah, I don't think so.
Well, no, just in
Like
general,
his,
like he may have a
like-
huge inverter on there that he might be running.
Oh, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, why? If he's sitting there watching Josh run something, why would the Jeep even be on?
I gotta power my fridge.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, don't you have to be a certain distance away from the vehicle in order to activate SOTA?
No,
yeah.
you can't be attached to the vehicle.
Yeah, you have to get to the activation
Okay.
space under your own power.
Over what distance?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I thought. There's
they
a distance.
They claim no, they don't claim. They don't claim a distance. You need to get to your own. You need to get to the activation spot on your own power. They don't have like a hard and fast distance. Although,
okay,
like it's the spirit of ham radio, right? It's that whole thing.
Yeah, I know. When they were doing the one at the Grand Canyon, that they were saying what Scott said, which is you can't be attached to the vehicle, so we have to set up a table next to the vehicle to run.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah,
not.
but-
You know me. I'm not gonna run fast and loose like that. So
no, the only thing I was thinking was, well, you could get away from Randy's Jeep. You don't have to sit next to the Jeep.
No, I expect we're gonna have to walk like quarter mile or something like that to get to the activation. That's kind of why I don't want to drag that. I don't want to drag that 100 watt panel if I don't have to. So being able like a 25 watt panel with the Buddy Stick Buddy Stick Power Mini into for controlling the battery and charging the laptop and charging the whatever the Yaesu or whatever radio I'm going to pull out. Like I think that's going to be enough. I think so.
Have you tested out the battery life on that laptop yet?
Oh yeah, it's long. It's good. That laptop actually has a really good battery. Well,
yeah.
It's it's probably because it's not drawing that much juice because it's not good. It's not a good laptop. So I don't know what to tell you other than like it's. I really have to be careful because Ape's got me so on guard right now about his
He was
comments.
not kind about his
No, he
opinion
wasn't.
of that laptop.
And he's not wrong if you're a Linux person. If you're trying to load Linux on this thing and then go back to Windows, good night. You need an image. There's no way that you're going to be able to do anything without an image on that thing.
You weren't promoting it as this great gaming laptop that's super duper.
And
fast.
I don't believe Ape was coming for me, to be honest. I really don't.
No.
And
Did
I
you
ask
see
in the comments like who are you talking about? And he didn't want to talk about who he was talking about, but he said it wasn't me. So I believe him. Of course I believe Ape.
Yeah,
I'll definitely give him the benefit of the doubt.
Did you see where I told him, well, I write my own device drivers?
Yeah, he didn't like that. He didn't like that, Don.
No.
He did not
I
like
know.
that.
But I get him like that in the chat all the time.
But I also think I think his grading for quality was way higher than what it is. I don't think you can beat a 12-volt charging laptop. Like I don't know. Like I almost feel that when it comes to ham radio. By the way, Dave Canterbury had this same experience. Dave Canterbury was fooling around with something, and he and I were on the phone for hours. Not hours, but going back and forth. And he was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go buy a laptop. And I went, oh, okay, all right, go buy a Windows laptop because he was on a Mac. And I could get him running on the Mac. I could get him going. But he's like, I don't like it. I don't like the way this is. I'm just gonna go buy a standalone Windows computer. I'm like, hey, I've done this. I'm fine with. Go for it. And so he comes back with this HP, and he plugs it in, and he's like, yeah, man, life's great. And I'm like, okay, good. So the laptop's good. He's like, yeah, it's fantastic. He's like, yeah, and it's 12 volts. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, it charges off of 12 volts. So I'm charging it off of my solar system and all that, and everything's good. I'm like, oh, what is the name of this laptop? Tell me about this laptop. Turns out it's like some kind of relative of this crazy laptop that we're all fooling around with. But yeah, it's... So JK Flip Flop asks, "What's the have you done a cold weather soda?" I've done snow on the ground soda. There's always winds. You can't avoid winds, but it's not like proper winter. I've never done that, nor have I really desired to. If I have to put crampons to get to the summit, I'm probably not gonna go. Straight up, I don't need to activate that badly. I think that possibly Adam will join us tomorrow, so we'll see. All right, so let's.
And just real quick, Joe Brett, how many of those do you have?
Joe Brett in the chat?
Yeah, he's showing up. K5YVOI. Yeah.
Is he in the chat or in the Discord?
No, I see him on Restream Bot, so I'm sorry, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Wow, the Micro Center in Houston ran out of those laptops.
Oh yeah, they're moving pretty fast.
Yes, Joe Brett, laptops. And yeah, the micro, this is what we were talking about, by the way. There are two models of that laptop, and the ones that I ended up buying for me and Jim are the ones without that 4G card or LTE card. And so therefore you cannot add the additional SSD card. So that was one of the things that Ape was really on about, was the fact that that he had believed when he was buying the laptop that he was getting one of the ones with the LTE card, and he didn't. And our Micro Center, if you go to the website, it'll say, "Oh, we're sold out." But if you go to the upper level website and say, "Hey, I want an Evolve 3," then it takes you to a site and says, "Oh, we've got unlimited, like more than 25."
Right.
Well, you read the description, and the description on the second one, the one that's not sold out, does not mention the LTE card. That's what I bought. And I didn't know it either. I had bought, like 2 weeks before, I had bought the ones with the LTE cards in it. So I didn't even know.
So Don, your heads up on that laptop is how I got the one with the LTE card, because I have that.
Well, but Ape was complaining that they were doing bait and switch, and they're not. You just have to read really carefully.
Well, I still got the one. I've got both. I've got one of each.
Yeah, I do too. And by the way, I've had no trouble getting Linux on them either. I think, and he was complaining about the sound card. I don't remember the sound card being an issue. The issue that I was reading about was the device driver for the Wi-Fi card, which I don't care about anyway. But I did find the driver, and I compiled it, and it went right up, no problem.
All right, what's going on here? There we go. Okay, so I need the drivers, of course, for the DigiRig. The DigiRig is still a very good option for radios that require both a cable for sound and for cat control.
So the DigiRig uses the same device driver that the 7300 does, and the Yaesu FTDX radios. They're all the CP7210.
Yeah, but where's the installer?
Windows Universal Driver. I mean, when you... Yeah, no.
Now I have
those,
to... pointed
Easiest digital one that I have ever used has been that Rig Blaster No Mic. It's been the easiest thing. I've got 3 of them running Digipeater and then all my digital stuff here, my HF stuff.
USB to U dart.
See, this is the shit I hate. Like, this is what pisses me off. Is it knew exactly where to go, and there was like, nope, I don't like your driver. It's the CP210. It's exactly the same.
But that's the USB to UART. That's USB to serial, basically. But
So what am I supposed to do there? So this is not the right one?
it should be the universal Windows driver.
Right, so when...
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, did you unplug it and plug it back in? No, I mean the device. Have you plugged the DigiRig in already?
Yeah. No, not before I did the search for it.
After, yeah. The other thing...
it's going to make me do the manual way. Yeah. Fine. This is literally what ham radio is, guys. It's effing around in Device Manager.
Mm-hmm.
So you right-click on this, and you go to Properties, and you go to Driver, and you say, Gentlemen.
But that's my life in Linux every day, so it doesn't really faze me.
Yeah, see, it doesn't like this, though. This is literally what it is. This is... I did not... Oh, wait. No, this is not right. No, this is not right.
Yeah, you're an SDR sharp for some...
That is not right. Let's go.
Hello.
Nope, didn't like that either. God damn it. Hello. Hello to person who said hello. How's it going?
This is my first time on Afterchat.
Oh, it's Joe Brett. What's up, bud?
I don't know how this works.
You're in, man. You got it.
Yeah, like y'all don't do this on the ham radio clubhouse.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Joe
Yeah, I can hear you. I've never been required to push to talk, and I'm having to figure all this out.
Well, we got when we got 70+ people in some cases.
I completely understand.
Yeah, we generally got a lot of people out here, but yeah, we can. I can do the magic sauce to give you the no PTT.
Well, I got it figured out now.
Nice to see you hamming harder there, Joe Brett.
Sound good,
yeah,
too, man.
What's up, Scott?
How you doing? How's it going, man?
Man, I'm doing good. Everybody kind of laid down in the house, and I still had all the stuff in the shack turned on, so I had to come out here and turn it off, right? So I figured I'd come out here.
So how's that drone working out for you there, Joe Brett?
It's been a pain in my butt, but it's all right. It's working good.
What drone you get? Oh, no, actually, hell, dude, I was literally watching that video while I was casting into the stream fishing. Your video on drones. That was a good video, man. That was good. That was really cool.
What'd I do? With Jim and them?
Yeah. When you did when you were talking about drones and the work you do with it, and you're being a qualified license holder for drones and all that.
Oh yeah, I was completely over prepared for that show. I had my book and everything. Nobody asked any technical questions.
I was literally casting. I was casting one line out for catfish, and I was casting the other line for trout. And I'm hearing you in my ear talking about drones. And I'm like, oh man, this is crazy. Right on, man. It was a good show.
It was fun.
Yeah, yep. Josh, did you see the drone that he's flying?
I think I looked one of them up because you mentioned a couple of them names that I didn't remember. The ones that I knew I didn't look up. But yeah, no, those are some high dollar. There's some high dollar drones, right?
Oh yeah, we started a trend, I guess. The agency we was assisting decided they needed one, so we've got the Matrice 300, and they decided to get the M30, which is the newer version. But I still like ours. It takes a little longer to put together, but it's got more features.
Joe Brett, they linked that you're doing bike comms there.
Yeah, I just want to put a HT with a crossband repeat on it.
What kind of whip are you using? That's where I'm stuck right now with my bike.
Oh, who you asking about the bike?
Oh, can you repeat that again? Audio is really low tonight.
What are you looking for? What are you looking for, man?
Well, somebody linked in Joe Brett's call sign page or QRZ page and said that Joe does the bike mobile. And so I think that's where the questions are coming from.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. That didn't have anything to do with HF. So I had a crossband FM TYT 9800 that I had unfortunate luck with that I also did a video on. But I had that in the truck, and I was riding a bicycle through a local trail we had. So I welded me a mag mount metal plate on the back of it, stuck a dual band mag mount antenna on it, and went biking or bicycling, whatever you want to call it, so Josh don't get confused. And
yes, please.
and it worked pretty good. I was able to do 10 meter and 6 meter FM by crossbanding, which needed a band opening, but it was all right. It gave me something else to do on the trail.
That's perfect. Why didn't I think mobile?
And I think you asked about the whip. It was more of like it wasn't a very big, I would say it was in between a quarter wave and a 5/8 wave magnetic whip, but it was dual band. So it's one of those cheap antennas. I don't even know if it had a brand name.
Oh, thanks. I'm going to look into that. That's perfect.
Hey, Joe Brett.
Hello.
Did you get my QSL card in the mail yet?
Yes, sir, I did. You got one.
Okay, just making sure the post office actually delivered it.
Yeah, they didn't beat it up too bad, but appreciate it.
Oh, blew that thing up. Holy shit. Sorry. I'm also in parallel trying to set up this, I'm trying to set up this damn radio, and apparently I don't have a sound card for it. All right, sorry about that. Sorry, Joe Brett and everybody else. I'm trying to get this 857 going in parallel here, so I'll be ready for Randy tomorrow. Cannot fail. Cannot fail tomorrow.
No sorries needed, man. That's what the rag chew's about.
So let's see. What was I going to ask? So I was curious about the thermal. All right. So hear me out on this. And you may have some terrestrial experience with thermal. Is there any thermal that's worth its salt for a civilian to buy, whether it's quadcopter balanced or just anyone? Do you know of any that you'd recommend?
Well, I guess when you say worth civilian buying, I guess it depends on what you want to do with it, besides seeing in the dark. But
I want to spy on my neighbors, Joe Brett. I want to spy on my neighbors.
I don't know if I'd put that much change in. I'd probably just walk over there and hang out in their yard.
but that's what they call the cops on me. So I want thermal capability. I'm kidding, of course. But you know where I'm going, right? Is that I think one of those weird prepper items that people want to talk about is like thermals, and I don't know that anybody's made like a really good video on thermal cameras, whether they're airborne or ground based or whatever. I find that whole area really fascinating.
Well, they're definitely neat. The one that's on the drone just really surprised me. I never expected to be able to see thermal signatures as far as it could see. I mean, you can pick out the brick homes throughout entire communities because they hold the heat. But
oh yeah,
can you see the squatch running in the woods?
Until it goes under a tree. That's the only thing. And that's what we do, especially here in North Mississippi. That's what we deal with a whole lot when we're trying to find somebody. Like we've done 30 flights trying to find a missing guy. And
sorry, I gotta interject. Does it see the G90s running in the woods?
there you go.
Go in a woods with the G90? Yeah, buddy.
Only when they're tuning up. Yeah.
Yeah.
What part of North Mississippi are you in?
I am 75 miles southeast of Memphis, Tennessee, just west of Tupelo, Mississippi, the birthplace of the king, Elvis.
I got you. I used to drive for a Hub Group trucking and took those 22 and 72 all the time out to Memphis.
Is that
Yeah.
a back down ape when he escapes? Yeah.
Yeah, so I-22 is only about 12 miles from my QTH, so it runs directly through the town here.
I got you. It's been a while since I've been through there, but the call sign kept popping up for me there that I was trying to. I've heard the call sign before, but nothing was coming to me. That's the reason I was asking.
How does one set the filtering on the H57? Does anybody know?
That big ass menu that Yesu's famous for?
Oh no.
The 891's great grandfather.
Yeah, I don't.
The sound of disappointment in that.
It doesn't have any filters in as standard. You have to add them.
It doesn't have any. It's just wide
Yeah,
open.
yeah.
On
It's
the
like
857. Oh my
yeah, it's
God.
like the 818 in that there you buy those Collins filters. I don't bother with the filters.
No, it's not hearing me right now.
I think if you've got the D, I think there's some DSP filtering, but whether it's any good or not, who knows?
I have a D and it's not very good. I mean, I've used it on POTA a number of times. I love the radio, but yeah, it's just wide open.
How do you set the meter to ALC?
Honestly, the screen is so damn small. I rarely do any of that.
Okay, all right.
I mean, I as long as the frequency's there, I'm good.
Yeah, but how do you know if you're tuned right on WSJTX if you're gonna do
Well,
digital?
my digi rig is sitting over here still just out of the box. I've never hooked it up, and I bought it for the 857. So I just haven't. I've only used the 857 for SSB. Oh, this is why I'm watching what you're doing intently, because I'm going to have to do the same thing.
There's a meter section, so I've got it set to. Okay, I've got it set to ALC. So apparently I don't have any volume going out because I'm not seeing any ALC. But that's all the way up. So that's not good.
Why is it speaker? Oh, well.
Well, yeah, speaker is output.
Yeah, so is there any, yeah, that's going into one of those, like, you're not pushing it. No, you're pushing it into the mic, right? Is there any way that you could put a speaker on the end of that thing?
Oh, I know why. I know why.
Okay. Well, tell us, because I need to know.
I didn't have it on digital mode.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, wait, but there's no ALC. There's still no ALC, and I've got it all the way maxed. Yeah.
Yeah, is there...
Look at your video on how you did it on that, helping that bloke with the thingy.
That was on 891. I've never really mucked around with the 857, to be honest with you.
Actually, was it 891? You're right. I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
I hate to suggest this, but have you killed WSJTX and restarted it?
You know what, Don?
I mean,
I gotta say, like, both. That is your default answer, but often it is the right one.
Well, no, I mean, Mike N8YO and I were watching Ape and those guys try to talk Larry through setting up FT8 for the first time, and we knew immediately that Larry needed to kill the WSJTX and restart it because they'd made changes.
Mm-hmm.
And they spent an hour almost debugging that. And Larry was ready to scream. He was ready to go. He had had enough. And they finally shut it down and started it again, and it came up. And Mike and I are just laughing our asses off in the chat. It was...
Well, they brought me in,
that
too.
for a half an hour. Yeah. and that was all it was. We knew when they made that change.
Got it. We got it. We got the ALC. Yes. Oh, and the thing just died. The radio just died. It just died. Why? Holy crap. It just died. It just died. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Why? Why did you just die, radio? What just happened? What just happened?
Check your fuses.
Did we just blow a fuse?
Yeah, double check.
No. Why? Why would we blow a fuse? Come on.
I don't know, but I mean, when you're not getting power to the radio,
It just shut off. The whole thing shut off. No, I'm not. I can't. There's no way.
Better it happened here than 8,000 feet up in the.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, that's why you bring a second radio That's why I'm bringing the 705 because I know that's not going to fail on me. Okay, both.
He would have been very impressed.
Randy would have just laughed his ass off. All right, let's see. Ah, yes, 10 amps. 10 amps could not handle.
No, that's supposed to be a 20 amp fuse, right?
Dead amps though. All right, so that's probably what it was. That's my bad. I'll take it. That's my bad.
Okay. Oh, you were
fuse, Josh.
Oh, yeah.
I have so many fuses.
Yeah,
so
just
many.
call him Dodgy Fuse Josh from now on.
No, I'm not dodgy fuse. I'm just.
Yeah, Dodgy Fuses, putting in the lower value.
How many? 25? 25, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be 25, but are you plugging that into a power strip?
Yeah. Well, an MFJ power. An MFJ power strip. The best in quality.
Yeah, but that's not. If it had a 10 amp, you don't replace a 10. You replace a 10 amp with a 10 amp. In that, you move the radio to a 20 amp plug on the PDU.
Who wants to do that?
Man.
Who wants to do that, Doug?
Well, I don't mess with. I've had a house fire. I don't screw with stuff like that.
No,
I'm not kidding.
I won't recommend the tinfoil then.
There's the spot right there. No, it's when you start breaking out the it's when you start breaking out the 22 long rifle for percussive failure status.
Yeah, you need the 308 case. That'll work.
Yeah. I need
Good
to
old
know
audible fuses.
I need an audible fuse. That's my
Yeah.
problem. I can't hear them these days. I just can't hear them. All right, let's try
Yeah,
this
you
again.
need the one of them thermal ones that just a little thing pops out the front.
No, wait. It's got to be plugged in to work. Oh, yeah, buddy. Oh, yeah. There we go.
Do you still have a fuse box, or is it breakers?
That's a 12-volt breakout box.
Yeah. It's a 12-volt PDU, and it has a number of different values. Generally, that's got two 20 amps and so forth, and then you're supposed to be pushing 40 amps in there. But you're never supposed to have more than, a certain number of 20s and a certain number of 10s because the panel itself can't handle more than that.
Oh, I thought you blew the house panel.
No.
I'm good.
It's a 12-volt.
We're gonna make a contact right now. Who wants the first contact on the? Oh wait, this whole thing is dead. All right, now we're going to restart WSJTX. As per Don's instructions, we're gonna restart WSJTX.
Have you tried turning it on and off?
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Yeah.
Got my. There you go.
When in doubt, reboot.
So, silly question.
Mm-hmm.
So, the DigiRig versus the Signal Link. What's the advantage of the DigiRig?
It's smaller.
Mm-hmm.
The Signal Link is nice because you have independent volume control. That's the best part about the Signal Link is that you can go in there and really fine tune that volume. Although to be honest with you can do the same thing via your operating system on your computer. So I think that the Signal Link exists for people who are used to having knobs on things. To be honest.
Okay, I got an 891 coming this way in the mail, so I'm gonna need one of those eventually.
Yeah, those the DigiRig works really well on the 891, and I think it's the same DigiRig that runs the 857.
Well, if you don't want to drop the money on a new box right away, you can just use a USB cable and buy the pigtail for the audio in and out and save yourself the cost. It doesn't provide any of the isolation, anything like that, but that's how I've been running my 891 for Digimodes.
Okay, thanks for the tip.
Okay, I'm very frustrated. Oh my god, there's another update and restart on this thing. Oh my god, I can't get away from these updates. I'm trying to.
Yeah, there's a little symbol. There's a little symbol in the bottom saying that.
Yeah, no, I know, but like literally every time I restart this thing, it wants to do an update. So I'm gonna leave it alone for a second, and I literally have to get the digital mode done, and we got to start packing up because what time is it? Almost 9 o'clock. Yeah, I gotta get ready to go here because I gotta get up at 6 a.m. I gotta get up at 6 a.m. What is that?
Yeah, about an hour away over
here. Hey, nobody got time.
Or y'all could forget all of those and just do acoustic coupling with it.
Do what now?
Don, you probably got one of them old telephone acoustic couplers somewhere, haven't you?
No, I don't. I did have it one time, long time ago. I still have a handset though.
Well, yeah, you used to sell that one you could put on your Kenwood handheld, didn't they? You know.
I have a President Lincoln 2 that I do FT8 on, and I just do it through acoustic coupling because I don't have any of the connections for that radio.
So how are you acoustically coupling it? What are you doing?
You do it through acoustic coupling.
The microphone and headset.
Well, yeah, but we do that with a lot of radios. Acoustic coupling is where you take that silly handset and stick it in the thing with the two cups.
Exactly.
Yeah. No.
No, what I do, I use the mic that I have on my camera here, and I stick it down to the speaker of the President Lincoln 2.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And then I take the mic and I use my really good headset and I stick it in that. That's how I do FTA on that radio.
By the way, that is a very common way of doing SSTV. You take your phone and you put it up to the speaker and you listen to the image coming in, and then when you're ready to transmit, you push a button on your phone and it'll go out the speaker, and you key the mic and it'll go out over the air that way. So
definitely, I've got a couple images off the ISS when they do their slow scan TV.
I've sent some images that way.
Yeah,
I'm tempted to go digital that way actually, because my radio doesn't have cat control, and I don't want to buy a TNC or something. So
all you want cat control is that just gives you control of the frequency. If you know what frequency.
Yeah. So if that's manual anyway, why not just stick it into the microphone and do it that way?
I mean, the only thing you need for FT8 is audio. You don't really need to control the radio.
Yeah.
There's a number of people that are running radios that.
I mean, the moment I put wires between the radio and the computer, I got to deal with the audio levels and just wire everything up correctly, and then maybe choke the RF and stuff.
Yeah, what?
Do something similar to that.
Like
decoupling.
Just decoupling through the air.
I mean, yeah, but you got to make sure that your mic's not too close to the speakers of the radio, or it's going to overdrive it and stuff like that.
Okay.
Fair point.
Yeah. By the way, in Russia, what license class do you hold? Just curious.
It's called the second category. So there's 4 levels basically. And the one I've got gives me all the privileges, so there's only one above that. And the only difference is that you can have a 4-character call.
Oh,
and that's basically it. And you can ask for a specific one.
At the lower license levels, like as you're going up, do you always have HF privileges, or?
So the lowest one, I think, yeah, it's VHF, UHF only.
Okay.
And the next one, the third category, has, I think, all HF bands, but 10 watt maximum.
Okay, yeah. So it's kind of, so at the lower level, it's like the US, but then the level above that, it's more like the UK.
Maybe, maybe not. I mean, technicians do have access to some HF bands, right?
Yeah, true. And we have 1500 watts, but even on those lower bands, the technicians can run 1500. I don't know if you have.
Is it being naughty?
Josh, that's when you take it and just drop kick it.
And Josh, there was a POTA station on there.
Yeah, we've got the power restrictions, but we don't have like frequency restrictions within the bands.
And
All right.
what about
That's
the
best I can
calls?
do. So we're literally gonna possibly make the first contact on the H57 right now. This radio that has never done digital, as far as I know, in the entire time it's been in existence. We're breaking the words that I won't use. Oh my God! Oh wait, nope, not yet. What am I doing?
Frustration noted, Josh.
Yep. I'm not going to say those words. So
You check Psk Reporter yet?
I have not. I mean that my grid tracker should see me, right? My grid tracker?
I think. I don't know.
It should, but it might take a few minutes before it does a automatic re-update.
I mean, my right, this screen's going to be out of date, but because we're on a completely different computer right now. Oh my God, we just got a contact. Oh my Lord, we just logged.
There you go.
A -2, buddy. All right, well, so now we lock that up. So now we got to box this whole thing up.
Mm-hmm.
I just needed proof of concept, so we got it. So I'll go back to the 7610. The easy.
Josh, make sure you take an extra fuse.
Yeah. No. That's funny. I probably should actually. I'm probably just gonna gaffer's tape a fuse on top of that thing. You're Paul. Thank you. We're gonna do that live. In fact, just to make sure I do it and not be a dumbass about it. All right, so we did it. Okay, it's working. I got a contact. All right, good. So I can get off of this mess because I will say, the mouse sale that I dropped for $40. This is normally a $75 mouse. This mouse is the best mouse that you could ever have. Check this out. It has both AA and AAA batteries. You only need to run one at a time. It'll run on either.
Oh, weird.
And you can pick one or the other. And then it has the dongle, but it's Bluetooth. This is the best. It's a gamer mouse. It's a Razer mouse. It's the Aruchi V2. It's amazing. Amazing. $40 on Amazon right now.
Well, I ended up going to Micro Center and getting more trackballs. I only run trackballs.
Logitech 502 for the win.
I'm normally a Logitech guy. In fact, I use most of their stuff for the Masters. I have all the Master Series stuff, but this is fantastic. This is like the best mouse. It's super light. It's really nice.
Because it has a great thing. It's got a trigger button which you can then make it into your PTT, so you don't have to try and find one of the 102 or 5 buttons on your keyboard in order to do PTT for these ham radio things.
All right, so we shut off the radio. We got the overhead cam on. We're gonna pull our power leads again and take a look at what we got for fuses here. There's 2 sets of fuses. 2 different fuses, 25 amp and a 3 amp.
What?
Yeah, because this is the positive line versus the negative. They don't need a negative line, but they add them.
They should be both the same.
Oh, dude, I've blown my negative on my 7100. Saved the damn radio.
So that's what's listed here. So.
That's what I was gonna say. It should be the same.
Yeah,
they both 25s.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I hear it. I'm here for it. All right, so we're gonna.
Yeah, so somebody's put a
225s right there. There you go. Gappers
Yeah.
tape incoming.
So which one had the smaller fuse? The ground?
The common.
Yeah, boy, yeah.
No,
That
no, yeah, no, yeah.
No, the reason I'm saying that is
You're not
somebody's
wrong,
got to have
Donnie.
replaced
You're
it.
not wrong. You're not wrong.
Somebody's got to have replaced it before you got that radio.
Yeah. So
'Cause
we're gaffers taping the crap out of this guy.
I think mine is sitting over in the other. I want to look at mine and see if it's got the same.
All right, so we're doing one of these.
A new HF question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I just started on HF earlier this week, and I found when I transmit, it knocks my keyboard out.
Yeah.
Other than adding ferrite chokes to the keyboard, what else can I do?
Yeah, what's the antenna?
Buddy Stick Pro right now.
Oh, really? And it's tuned up right? You're not just using a tuner or anything like that?
Nope, no tuner. I wasn't even using the tuner in the 7300. I had it set up resonant. I was about 1.2 to 1 on 20. And when I was transmitting about 80 watts, I tried typing and nothing.
Get the aerial further away.
Yeah, how close is it to you? Is this all portable?
So I have it just run out a window in the shack right now, so it's within the 20 feet of coax that they give you.
You're getting RF back in the shack. So the first solution that I would hit is just put a crap load of ferrites on the USB cable to just mitigate it.
All right.
Because
so I added one, so I'll add more.
Well, so you can add one, and if you got space, wrap the cable a couple of times.
I had room for one wrap, so I put one wrap in.
Okay. All right, so we've got digital cables right here. Goes in this bag, lives here forever and ever and ever. I stole this from my wife. This is a very sexy bag. There you go. Power cable for the 857. Fuses are now on board. We got also the power cable for the laptop. We got to pack that up. So I picked up a see-through bag here from Tom Bin. And I'm going to jam the power cable for the radio. Oh my God. I've greatly over-exaggerated what this thing can handle. And hopefully the mic and the other power cable for the laptop into this. And laptop.
I feel like if Josh has to use one of the extra fuses, we're going to hear him cackling with laughter from the summit.
Yeah, because I will be like, great success.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
And I have to say, my 857 is brand new out of the box, and both of the fuses are 25 amp.
You guys, actually, Don, you bought yours about the same time I bought mine, right?
Yeah, but mine was literally factory sealed.
Okay. Mine was not.
Yeah, it had to have been a silent key. And the way that, like when R&L had them, they had 3 of them. One of them was out of the box and had a line in the screen and a bunch of other stuff. And the other 2, the boxes looked brand new. And I think they basically bought all 3 of those from the same guy. He just loved the 857 that much that he bought 2 spares. And so I was able to get one of the spares.
Imagine loving a trash radio that much.
I bought the one with the lines in the screen.
Oh, you poor bastard. Did you fix it or what'd you do?
No, yeah, so I looked into it a little bit, and so the reason that happens is because they use like a it's like some well, it's some sort of a connection like solder mask goop, where it's not like completely soldered.
Yeah.
But the newer screen costs $180.
Yep.
And I looked that up before I bought it. But they have changed the design. So I kind of intentionally bought it because I feel like, I might as well just replace it with a better screen.
Yeah, aren't you the one that said that Yaesu still sells them?
Yeah, you just you go to Yaesu's website and go to like their, I don't know, whatever, contact us page, and I don't know, I ended up calling. It was a number from California, and they shipped me a.
It's right down the street. Jamscan, if you'd like, I can go chaperone your radio getting fixed if you want. It's like 5 miles from my house.
No, I think he ordered the part.
Yeah, no, I just ordered the part and looked up how to change it out, so it wasn't terribly difficult.
That was a really fun conversation I had with Yaesu. Back before I had like any involvement with any of the brands, I reached out to Yaesu and I reached out to John Crook and I said, "Hey guys, you may not know me, and that's okay. I'm on YouTube. I run the Ham Radio Crash Course, and here's what I'm proposing. I don't want your radios. I don't want to take them from you. I don't want to have to remove them out of your establishment. But I am 5 miles, if that, from your California, I think it's the United States location for Yaesu. I'd like to come down there with some cameras, and I will record whatever you'll let me record. I'll do a video with you there. Who's ever available to talk to me, I'm willing to do that. Whatever you want to do, I'm down. Again, I'm 4 miles away, and if you want to let me borrow something, I'll leave a deposit, and you can charge me for it. But again, I'm 4 miles away. I'm literally in your backyard. If you'd like to work with me, let me know." And I think I got a message back, and they're like, "At this time, no, we're not going to be able to do that right now." And I'm like, "Okay, thanks. All right, cool." It's like, God, like how? Come on, guys. I want to help you.
Have you ever been by there? Do they have antennas and stuff on the roof?
Oh, you haven't seen my my field day videos then? Because most of the time my field days end up at the beach, and the beach is between me and Yaesu. So whenever I do my field day videos, I stop at Yaesu and wave at the building on the video. Like, actually, I'll pull it up.
Okay.
It is actually kind of. I enjoy doing that. Now it's almost become its own thing. Now I have to say hi to Yaesu.
Yeah, I don't know, because the one I saw, your field day, you were out at some club working with them, right?
Yeah. But that was, I ended up at Yaesu.
Okay.
Where is it? I'll find the video for it. God, sometimes I'm like, man, how long has it been? Where is? Oh, there it is. Okay, got it.
Yeah, I just wonder what would happen if you walked into the front door and
Good
said,
morning, Ham.
"Yeah, I brought this
weekend,
radio in to be repaired."
Class, give me your class twice.
All right. So.
We're copying orange. 6 Hotel 3 Alpha.
Yeah, I remember that video.
QSL.
I guess I missed the Yaesu part.
It's coming up right now. It's coming up. Well, good morning. It's day 2 field day. We're on Sunday. It is 8 o'clock in the morning. Just a note here, the Huntington Beach Races teams, they pack up early. An hour. Oh, is it on the first day? Wait. Some final thoughts on. Wait, did I not use the clip? I really think you should look at this as a complete system with the MassWorks map.
I don't.
To go together like peas.
I don't remember,
if you will. Did I not use the clip? And there is a pretty.
Maybe last year's had it.
Hold on, I'm freaking out right now.
Was it not?
Oh, there it is. I found it. And there's the Yaesu building again this year. Hey, Yaesu. Okay, watch. Here we go. I found it. I'm like, I'm going to be crazy if I'm... I don't know if you caught my video last year when I was at a wedding for field day, but we drove by the Yaesu building. And there's the Yaesu building again this year. Hey, Yaesu. Yeah, that was it. There you go. Yep, Yaesu definitely in the house. All right. So now I got to pack all the stuff that I'm going to take in this bag. This is my Peak Design Traveler. This is generally the bag I take when I've got video and radio stuff I have to pack. The best part about this, so this is the strappy area where the straps go, but then you can open the whole back open, and you get access to the whole thing. So this is what we're going to cram stuff into. I don't know that I need the camera pouch in the bottom, but I think I'm running B-roll for Randy, so we'll see how it goes. I may bring some cameras. I haven't decided yet. I likely will.
Well, you're going to record it for us, though, right?
Well, I mean, I'll maybe record something. I don't know how much I'm going to record.
Oh, okay.
A lot of it's going to be on his channel because he already did a live stream on my channel. Remember?
Right, but I didn't know, like, because you're taking him up to show him ham radio in action, and I would think you would film it, but okay.
Yeah, I haven't. I'll believe me. I'll have cameras on me. It's not like I can't shoot a video.
Because I'd like to hear what you have to say about the trip, and then what Randy has to say about the trip.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and bring some extra crap just to have fun with, like those. I've got a video coming out like Monday or Tuesday on those handheld CBs, those Wushuns, and I think he's probably reviewed them. I want to talk to him about those guys. Those are pretty cool, actually. I'm really ecstatic about those CB radios.
Are they FM?
Yes, they're FM.
Oh, okay.
They're FM, and they do subaudible tones, so you can do CTCS and all that stuff. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Neat, but why?
Why not?
Because you can. That's why.
Oh, I guess you could. Well, sort of make it private, but that's not really private.
Oh, the tones?
Yeah, why
Yeah,
the tones?
the
'Cause
tones,
they don't
yeah.
have repeaters.
Yeah. Well, the
Can
tones
it-
don't
will
mean
it-
anything.
Will it tune out a CB though? Can you tune it up to 10?
No, it is CB. It's 10 meters. Or 11 meters.
11, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Will it tune out of that? Where you can take it up to
That'd
10
be
meters?
No, it's
Yeah.
channelized. The whole thing, I could
Oh,
not get
okay.
it into a VFO. No.
And you'd have to get it all the way up to 29 megahertz to get into where the tones.
Yeah,
would
I'd have
be.
to go up at 29.5. But
Yeah.
Do I have one? I'll go grab one and show you guys. I was on a chat last night where we were talking about it.
yeah, you showed us a bit, but
Well, some of you saw it, but not everybody. I actually really like these radios. They're really cool.
Yeah, the one I'm looking for will be a lot more expensive than that because I want FM and SSB.
there is one, Don.
I know.
But yeah, it's about 290 quid at the moment.
Thank you, Joe Brett,
Yep.
for killing those chats. By the way, are you still in here? Thanks, man. There was
It's passed under a couple of different names. Over here, it's actually a German company that markets it.
the sexy spammer was in the chat, so you killed him. Thanks for doing that. All right, so
And-
we gotta pack this bag.
All right.
I gotta be ready to go tomorrow. So,
You can sort of hold the bag open in front of the table and just swish it in.
yeah, exactly. So the laptop, there's actually a sleeve for it. It's on the back lid. So I'm gonna get the back lid open.
I can't find anything even remotely that price over here
Which price for what?
for that laptop. I can't find anything even remotely that sort of money.
All right, so we're gonna back
Yep.
lid this bad boy and get it out of here because I'm not taking any Macs or. Oh yeah, I already scuffed it. It's already scuffed. Great.
Yeah, I bought one and sent it to Jim, but Mike, I'm afraid.
No,
couldn't
no,
get
it
me
would be
right
far too much money, Don. It would be stupid.
Yeah.
I wouldn't suggest that for 1 minute. Because
Yeah.
I know, 60 odd bucks isn't bad for a laptop, but it would cost you 60 odd bucks to send it. It would be stupid.
You know, the sad part is that those were available when Rob was here for Dayton.
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of them. Yeah, but he wouldn't have been able to carry it back. He didn't. He got. He was telling me if he wanted like a bigger suitcase allowance, it was going to be another $150 on top of his ticket price. It was stupid.
Well, these things are tiny.
So
I mean, they're really
I actually,
thin.
I don't live near a micro center, but I wanted this little thing, and me and my buddy were planning on going to the Oshkosh, Wisconsin EAA Air Venture. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. It's like a very, very huge air show where people just fly their planes in and go camping.
Yeah.
Very, very, very fun. But anyway, he lives near a Micro Center, so I had him deliver my $60 Jenktopotamus. So pretty sweet weekend last weekend.
Yeah, it looked pretty good on the YouTube videos.
Did he get you the right one or the wrong one?
Oh, he got me the wrong one.
Oh, okay.
If by the wrong one you mean like I don't have a SSD slot.
Yeah.
Is LTE a big thing? I mean,
you pull the LTE out, and you can put an SSD hard drive in it.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, fair enough.
But for $60, I mean, like you can make use of it, man. I mean, like I've already made, but it's already paid for itself. So
I've got one of the ones without it. Like I said, I went and bought one for me and for I went and got one for Jim specifically, but when I was there, I went ahead and got one for me too. So. I found that out. I literally opened the thing up ready to put a hard drive in it, and it's like, or an SSD in it. It's like, oh, wait a minute. And
so the socket's missing and everything.
Yeah. Well, the area that to solder that on is there, but I'll bet the circuitry behind it's missing.
Yeah, had that happen with my Kenwood. The Euro version didn't have the tone board fitted. But not only did they not fit the tone board, none of the components to join the tone board on was there either. So if you'd have fitted the board, there was no components going to it. So it wouldn't have worked anyway.
What, something I'm wondering, Mike, is why we can't get... Why can't there be a replacement for those mechanical filters that used to go in the old radios? So make something else that works in the same slot.
What's his name? There is a filter company that will sort of improvise you a filter that's similar. You can do it yourself if you can buy eight or 6 matched crystals, and it's just a matter of making the lattice up. But it's a lot of work and requires a spectrum analyzer to measure the difference, and then you're going to have like 5 or 6 goes at it before you get the filter bandwidth you want.
Yeah. See what I'm getting at though is why can't you do it? Why can't you do it without crystals? Why can't you create a filter without crystals that goes on that same board?
You won't get the depth you require without crystals. That you probably could do it with as a filter, as a low pass design or a band pass design. But you just won't get the sharp sides that you want with any other design.
Well,
so instead of being a 60 dB drop on each side like that sort of filter would give you, you'd only get a 20 dB drop, and that's really not enough. But it would work. So you may as well, if you're going to do that, you may as well just do an audio filter. It's not as effective.
Yeah.
Well,
I was watching Johnny W5KV or Whiskey 5 Kilo Victor. I'm sorry. Anyway, he actually bought an audio DSP that he says works really, really well.
Yeah, I've got one. It's hang on, let me try and remember.
It's a Chinese thing.
Jesus.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Oh God, Zygu just brought one out that's apparently pretty good. I've got an old one, which is I just got to have a look. I can't remember the damn make of the thing. Hang on.
Yeah, well, Johnny reviewed his, and Josh should pick one up for his radio.
For what? What is it?
It's an audio DSP that goes on the outside of the 857 that makes up for not having those internal filters available.
Yeah,
I
mean,
got a time wave, but it's a bit big.
I mean, the 818 has that chip that you can buy that you can like solder in place and all that stuff.
Yeah, you can put that in.
The 857D has the DSP chip, I believe. I mean, the 857 did not, but the 857D does. It's kind of the whole point of the D, I think.
Yeah, it has a DSP.
You got to give it the D. You got to give it the D for DSP. Yeah.
It's got the D for sure.
Okay, good.
I
I'm
don't know.
glad it has the D. Good. I'm glad.
I purchased the 2.9 megahertz filter, and it changed my life when I listened to that radio.
It changed your life.
Changed my life. Boom, life changed. No, but
what?
I would recommend. If I could recommend anything, I'd recommend if you do want to buy a filter and spend like $200 or whatever it is, buy the 2.7 megahertz one for single sideband. You won't find the 300 hertz one for CW, but you can find the 500 hertz one. But you got to like solder it onto the board from INRAD.
Yeah, you can't buy those. You can't buy those blank boards anymore from NRAD too. By the way.
No shit, huh?
Yeah,
I literally just bought one when I purchased the 857 like a couple months ago.
When I made that Miata, when I made that 818 Miata video, those INRAD boards are gone. They're gone.
What's the difference in the crystal that goes inside the Yaesu and the one that goes inside the Kenwood?
Oh, wait, Don, hold on. So there are Yaesu radios that are not popular that have crystals that you can buy, and you can desolder the crystal off of that and put it onto the NRAD or commensurate 857/818 board, and you can get the crystal filter capability out of it. So, yeah,
it's still just.
Sorry, Don. I don't think it'd be too difficult if you got the PCB design to send to someone like PCBWay and then just make the board.
The boards look really simple.
Do you think they're going to give it to us if we ask for it? It's like, hey guys, you've been making money on this thing for a while. Can you just give us the board design so we can print it ourselves?
Well, it's only a single-sided board. It wouldn't take 10 minutes to take one apart and
that's true. Yeah, I mean, you're right. You're right. All right, I'm going to run ads for a second. I got to run to the restroom because I need to grab a mast for my car. I keep of course, I keep a radio in addition to my HF radio in my car with an antenna mast, and I got to grab the hybrid mini, the CF hybrid mini for my car. So I will be right back. You guys keep talking.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I was at EAA this past weekend, I actually brought my A57D, and I had a Wolf River coil. And I was going to try and they had a
Joe Brett, are you still here?
Yo, I'm back.
Is Joe Brett still in?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, he's here. All right, right on.
Joe, are you near Tupelo?
I am just about 30 minutes west.
And my family's in Germantown, Tennessee.
Did you say you was at Germantown, Tennessee?
Yeah, East Memphis.
I got you. Yep. Just 75 miles southeast of Memphis.
Yeah, we used to go to Mississippi to go to the casinos.
I ain't been to those in a long time. I think I won $7 one time.
Big winner.
Well, as long as you didn't lose $500 to get your $7, you're fine.
Yeah, I think the last time I went, the World Series Poker Tour was coming through there, and I was able to grab a table, and I thought this was my chance. We've been playing a lot of poker around the house or whatever, and I was like, yeah, I'm ready for the big game, right? And I go sit down at the table, and the waitress comes by. I tell her bring me a beer, and I get knocked out of the game before she ever come back. But they had a free bar that night, so it wasn't a total loss.
Nice.
Yay.
Nice.
If people don't realize northern Mississippi is as beautiful as it is.
Well, if you can find a hill to see it.
Well, there are no hills. But a lot of people from East Memphis have moved to Mississippi, moved to northern Mississippi, and it's a shame.
You know, you'd be surprised how many people actually move or at least get a residence for an address here because of the retirement. After 65, they don't have to pay in taxes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know.
There's a ham. I think it's Indiana where he lives, and he's got a camper set up here in the county, and I'll go by and check on it every now and then, but that's his primary address for tax purposes.
So he just has a camper just for hiding out kind of thing?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's funny.
I hadn't seen him in a while, so I need to check on him, though.
Ooh, buddy, this bag's heavy. This feels like I'm going to Huntsville. Holy shit.
Is that your Tom Boone?
No, Tom Bent, no. That's a Peak Design bag. Oh, okay. So I think we're, did I miss anything? Hold on. Technically, I missed an antenna, so I have to get this J-pole antenna in somewhere.
Yeah, Josh, I'm going to drop a video in live stream, and I want to see if you've seen this before.
Okay.
I believe this guy is taking you and Jason to attack.
Oh
yeah,
yeah. Tracksuits and ham radio. That guy's an asshole. I've talked to him multiple times on Twitter. Oh, okay, sorry, take that back. I have had a couple of conversations with him on his video to better understand his points of view, and I've also tried to talk to him on Twitter, and he is just a troll. He's just a troll. Like I don't know where his aggression is coming from. His worldview seems completely out of place.
Well, I thought he was doing it for funny.
No, so that's what he says. So there's a really interesting history. He's gone after multiple YouTube creators, and then they engage with him and chat with him, and they just want to I think most of them have been very cordial and talking with him, and then he just deletes the video. He doesn't answer any questions. He just pokes at everybody. And then, when you respond to him, he's like, hee, 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 and then
who is this?
Tracksuits and ham radio. He had another name before that. Who was it? What's his name? Oh God, what's his name? Oh, what's his name?
Josh's best friend.
No, it starts with an R. Is his name? Or what he used to go by. He changed his YouTube name to
Radon.
Randon. Yeah, you're right, Joe Brett. He changed his name to Tracksuits and Ham Radio, but it used to be Randon something. Randon Loeb, Loeb. That may be his real name. I don't know. But it probably was since he changed it. But regardless, I just I don't. It's kind of like QRZ, where you can repeat the same conversations with people and they don't really get it and they just want to keep pitching their narrative. And so it's like, okay, then there's nothing I can do here, so I'm just going to move on. And that's it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't even sound like somebody talking. It sounds like almost a computer-generated voice back and forth. And it just, when I don't know how it came up in my feed at all. But I saw it and I thought, what the hell is this guy? And so, I mean, when I started it, I'm thinking it's going to be a funny video. And so that's how I took it, but I don't know. I mean, I obviously don't know the guy. So,
it's actually Noah.
It's Noah. It is Noah. I don't know. When did he post it? So I guess that's recently. I don't know. I don't really watch any of his stuff anymore. It was really funny. There was a while where he was posting a lot. And it was because people were commenting on his videos, but then everybody realized he's just a troll. And so they stopped posting and stopped commenting, and then he stopped. It's like, okay.
Yeah, he posted that one day ago. But he's got videos going back like 4 years. So.
Yeah, the best piece of advice I can say is just don't comment with him, don't engage with him, because he doesn't have any substantive arguments. He doesn't make any kind of point. He just has a narrative that he's pushing, which is okay. You can have a narrative, but like, give me an argument that goes along with it. When I respond to your questions with what I think are pretty good answers, and then you just say like, oh, do you want me to just delete the video? It's like, no, I want you to answer why you assume the things you're assuming. He makes a lot of assumptions in all his videos, which is kind of his deal. But yeah, Jody's
I just
right.
watched.
Go ahead, Scott.
So I just watched this guy. Or I'm about halfway through this guy's video here. He's kind of a prick.
You know what's my favorite part?
Revenue and clicks.
I think we should go where?
No.
Yeah.
Don't go after anybody. So here's my favorite part about it is I don't know what the deal is. I don't get it. I don't understand it. So he comes after like YouTubers that have Patreon and ads and all this stuff, and he doesn't like it, and it shouldn't be a thing. But he's a Patreon supporter for Eric, Ham Radio Concepts, which no problem with. I have no problem with that. But where why is the hypocrisy okay? Like, I don't understand. It's really weird. I don't know. I saw his video when he went to Hamcation. He was at Hamcation, and if he came up and so here's the thing, like. I believe in my heart of hearts there are very few ham radio operators, like aside from like some very toxic people, that I could not just like hang out and chat and have a good time talking about what it is that you're interested in, what I'm interested in. I'm sure he's got a lot of really interesting things that he's doing. He was doing that automatic CW decode thing. That's super cool. I'd love to talk about that. And he made this big video on how like, oh, we're only going to do videos to communicating with people at Hamcation, implying that like he's the only one doing that. It's like, do you realize that that's what most of us do, is we just talk to people that come up and talk to us and talk about what their journey in ham radio and their enjoyment in ham radio and how much ham radio is fun. It feels kind of like, and I'll be a little salty at him right now. It feels like he believes he's the main character in a movie. Like he has got main character syndrome. Like he thinks he's
where he has the moral.
Well, yeah, like he everything is against him, and everything's going to be better, and it's like I don't know where all this attitude's coming from. Like, we've done nothing to you.
It looks like he's trying to be a little bit funny, a little bit humorous, but he's also at the same time he's trolling.
Missing the mark.
He's kind of picking on all of it, including my channel, your channel. He's kind of picking on all of us. Like we're kind of idiots. Like we don't know which end of the soldering iron to use, and this and that. I was like, dude, where you come on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If it doesn't create anything or improve anybody, it shouldn't be on YouTube in this realm.
I don't know about that. Like, I mean, how you create something and how you improve something is totally up to the person that's watching it. Like, there's a ton of people who have made very similar videos to the movie. There's the videos I've made, and I've made similar videos to the movies other people have made. It's a different way of conveying similar information, and it's the person conveying it that makes it different and interesting.
Hell, I'm addicted to watching people play miniature golf on YouTube. I can't seem to get my eyes off of it.
Watch you play miniature golf?
Done.
We talked about that last week.
To get out.
Yeah.
All the time I've listened,
you should start watching Cobblers.
Forget your politics.
You doubled.
You doubled. It's a repeater.
Sorry. I was going to say you should watch people fix shoes because those are the best.
Paul, yes, Paul, yes. I love those videos.
I feel like
who is that one guy that tears apart shoes from the middle?
Like
he's awesome. Anvil or something.
Yeah, that's great. But actually fixing the shoes and taking high-end shoes and putting new soles on them, and they're always the same JRs. I think that's the greatest.
Dudes like corn out Tims to show like why they're not good shoes and all that. I love that guy. I love all. So who was it? It was oh God, what's his name? He's got a YouTube show right now. There was a big phase in like CNC machine YouTube, builder maker YouTube, like hardcore maker YouTube. And he used to make these ice picks. I think he still does it. But he kind of like Durista. Yeah, Durista kicked the whole thing off. And it has gone into all these wild niches, including shoes. I guess I don't think that Mr. Carlson's lab has any influence. Like Mr. Carlson's lab is a wholly one-off, video tome of information.
No, he's an electronic genius.
Yeah, no, he's That guy decided to turn a camera on and shoot what he does every day, which is just amazing. He's not following any trends. He's not trying to be up in the meta. Like he is just who he is, which is amazing. He deserves every views he gets. Is Mr. Carlson's lab.
You pay for his Patreon, you literally are subscribing to one-on-one electronics there. I love his welding wire antenna.
Yeah, I should do that just so I can figure out what like half of my kits that I have to fix. Like, oh my God, did I not pack the power cable? Son of a bitch.
The power cable and the extra fuse.
Just bring wire, Josh. You can do it.
Oh,
throw some wire in there.
No, we're good. We're good.
The fuse is taped on the top.
There's another roll-up J-pole I need. This is not the one. This is not the one. I gotta figure out where the good one is.
Yeah, looking at that.
Don't tell me checklist. We're too late for checklist. This is late hour. We've already been drinking beers. We have to pack this bag immediately because our flight is at 6 a.m.
You're talking about beers. You're walking right into that, guys.
I don't care. Like
I don't
keep it real,
care
man.
either.
That's all I say.
Nobody cares. That's the whole point.
Well, I mean, yeah. Anyway, so I didn't mention that we had a Twitter back and forth because he came at me at Twitter because there's a lot of guys, and so yeah, this is there is a group of Twitter folks. A lot of them come out of Canada, so some of you may know who I'm talking about. By and large, I don't really have problems with any of them and most of them, but I think they're totally not being honest to me. Like, I think they're just, they're just joking everything up. Like, everything's a joke, which is fine. Okay, cool. But Randon, he was on Twitter, and he and I were talking back and forth, and it's like, he's almost disconnected from reality. I don't know where his points of view are coming from. So he got mad at me about the chameleon clamp video that I did. It's like, yeah, they sent it to me. I said that in the video. They sent this to me. Yes, it's $200. No, you don't have to buy it. Okay, so what's the problem? Like, what is actually the problem? I'm not getting a cut of the sales or anything like that. It's like, what do you want from me? It's just a weird, I don't know what it is. It's a weird kind of dude. But hey,
if you don't have haters, you're not doing YouTube right.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it got me out of trouble because when I had COVID, that clamp was ultimately what allowed me to succeed in POTA. So if it wasn't for that damn clamp, I would have been SOL.
Yeah, ham radio dude, I think sometimes he gets caught up in some of those people that come after him.
He does. He does. Well,
but
also he turns into it a little bit.
Yeah.
Mike at ham radio stuff, he can't avoid those guys. I mean, that whole M&P cable thing is like, my cable's better than your cable stuff. I just hate to see guys that are smart as him get dragged into those.
Oh, wait, you don't understand. That's a joke. Like, Mike's not serious. You know that, right?
Oh no, he's sometimes he's like, he's learning. He's a lot
you're taking Mike way too serious. You're taking Mike way too serious. If he says
Mike does not give a shit about MNP.
If Mike says MNP coax is the best thing ever, and he's saying that in the comments, it's probably to troll the people that are like responding to him violently. Mike probably likes MNP coax for the reasons that he puts in his videos. That it is a competitor to LMR 400 and all the other things we talked about. But to claim that it is the best coax and it's the only coax you ever need, Mike would never say anything like that. Like, and if he did, he's only doing it in complete hyperbole. He does not mean that legitimately.
He does like it though. I mean, he and I go out and do POTA sometimes.
Yeah, he likes
it. He carries now.
Well, I mean, okay, but Mike is also he himself is a little hyperbolic, so I appreciate that.
Yes,
but
yeah, Josh, when you say that though, that means that you're telling me to discount most of the videos he does when he reviews something.
No,
that's what I'm hearing.
No.
In the comments, he gets suckered in by some of those.
No,
people.
I know that.
No.
But
okay, wait, Craig. I don't like the term "suckered in." I don't like that. So, like, what do you mean specifically?
The same people you were just talking about that are, trolling you or baiting you or just trying to get a rise out of people. It seems like they're targeting him for that specifically. Try to get him engaged in a bigger or better. So it's good.
Yeah, so he knows that the more time he spends battling people online, the less time he's making video, the less time he's editing, the less time he's doing any of the things that he's doing, and he is doing YouTube as a full-time job. So on his free time that he's faffing about doing whatever, yeah, he can absolutely have fun with the trolls in his comments. But I better believe Mike is focused on the priorities of making videos and editing right now. I know that. He's not here, and I can tell you he's doing that.
But Mike's made whole videos where he specifically said, this is why M&P coax is better than everybody else. And I did not take that as a joke. I don't see where he would put out a video like that that's like for a 10-minute joke or a 15-minute joke.
Well, I mean, okay, I don't want to assume. But okay, wait, I take all that back. I will assume he is getting paid by Messi and Poloni. Like I assume that. Like it's somewhat of an ad. Do I think that because of that he is saying that it is the best coax? No. Do I think that it is in front of him because of the ad? Yes, he's reviewing it because he has the capability to look at it and test it and show what its capability is. And if he's saying that it is as good or better than LMR 400, which he did a video on, and comparing it to other coaxes, then the question is he wrong? Like, is his testing methodology wrong? If it's not, then okay, then we can just say, yeah,
well,
it's a valid point of view.
So here's what he's done too. He's also had some of the mailbag Mondays where people have come in and challenged him on it. And he has gone in and brought the specs up and gone over the specs and shown, okay, this is LMR 400. This is the equivalent of Messi and Poloni. And you can see the differences in the data here. It's not just me. They're even saying that it's better. So, I mean...
Okay, well...
It's more than he's just making a joke, is all my point is. He's serious. I mean, the way I'm hearing it, because he's done multiple videos defending it, he's serious.
Well, they did break a lot of rules when they designed their coax. They do something completely different than a lot of other coax companies out there, which is why a lot of stuff is a superior product. I mean, they're literally the Ferrari of coax.
Right.
Now, hear me out. Okay. I wish Mike was here for me to say this because I would like him to respond and have this whole thing. So, if it were me in this situation, and Mike is probably already thinking about doing stuff like this, or I don't know. I don't want to assume, but generally, if you take a product and the product says I am the best product ever, and then you point to the website of the product owners, and the product owner's website says, no, yeah, it's the best product ever. That's not really it doesn't move the needle, right? Like, you have to test it. Like, you have to put it through its paces. You have to give it some kind of benchmark for why it is the best product ever. And so, if you get a bundle of coax or whatever, and you want to compare it to other coax, like, I mean, that's the hard work that sometimes comes into this, is that you actually have to do those comparisons and say, like, oh no, yeah, this has less loss over distance than the competitors. That's what people want to see. Actually, I would argue that, like, okay, so hear me out. How many of you watch what's the guy with the glasses that breaks all the tools? The YouTuber that, like, the best vice grips, the best
Project Farm.
Project Farm. You're basically, like, when you get to a point where you start getting people that are, like, slapping up against you saying no, you're basically at the point where you have to Project Farm it. You got to lay out a test criteria where you test all the variables and show the information. That's part of the reason why I started doing that that whole thing with the antennas. Just a brute force, every man's capability, kind of like Project Farms, where you have a receiver and you receive you receive the data coming out of the signal, just to compare it and to draw a line against all of the competitors. And we're basically at that point, because Messi and Poloni is claiming a lot. So how do we prove it? Like, do we have a third party, an independent third party that can prove it? That's the question.
I get what you're...
It's almost like the YouTubers have become the peer review study for a lot of products.
Well, as long as we're doing it, though. As long as we're doing the peer review.
A bunch of beer obsessed YouTuber creators.
Without the videos on the Evolve, how many Evolves do you think Micro Center would have moved?
I don't know. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. So, Paul, you're 100% right, and that was actually something I kind of became violently aware of because of that clamp video and some other videos like a year ago, where when I talk about something, people will go buy it. Yes.
I mean, how many times have I said to you, "Oh my God, look how much money you cost me this week"?
I know, and so
but I don't have regrets though.
Okay, good. That's actually the biggest part, is that you don't have regrets. But there are claims you drop. Like, if you drop a claim, this is the best coax, or this is one of the best coax, or whatever, you can like leverage the company that is making those claims for being I'm using their information that says they're the best. You can do that, but you can also do it yourself. And as a YouTuber, so straight up as a YouTuber, like, if you made that video, like, that video would get more views than you just saying Messi and Poloni said I'm the best, right?
Messi and Poloni is pretty good compared to the rest.
By the way, I'm not taking anything away from Mike. I love Mike. Everybody knows I love Mike. I don't want anybody to go tell Mike that Josh is talking shit or anything like that. I am not. All I'm saying is that, like, we can actually test this stuff. Like, if you took a 100-foot roll of LMR 400 and a 100-foot roll of Messi and Poloni, and you did the test, like, he could do
Measure
this at
the
home.
loss.
Like, everybody could measure this. Like, we could all do this. Like, this is all in our space, in our wheelhouse as ham radio operators, right? So then it doesn't become a thing that we have to depend on a fact sheet or whatever, right? That's the point, I guess I'm going to, is that, like, we
He did
we
do
need to
that,
do more
so
of that.
I'll give him credit for actually taking it to task, and he tested it to the best of his ability.
Good.
No doubt.
So then, okay, I can't watch all the YouTube videos. So if Mike did that, then perfect. And he proved they're the best over whatever frequency range he did. Hell, send me the link. Post the link in the live chat. We'll pull it up right now. We'll watch it. We'll watch it live.
You know, I think a lot of us YouTubers, though, you know, we go off. I know, just speaking for myself, I go off and I buy things on my own with my own money. Sometimes I might get something, but it's very rare that anybody sends me anything to review. So I end up buying stuff and I'll test it out myself. If I like it, then I put a video out and say, hey, guys, I found this thing. I think it's worth it to you. And if I can save you money to get you a superior product for a least amount of money, that's what I try to go for. I'm not just going to tell you that something's great because somebody tells me, oh, do a review and tell everybody it's great. If it sucks, I'm going to tell you it sucks.
Scott, your reviews sometimes are brutally honest. And if you were the manufacturer, the retailer that provided that product, those people's heads are probably exploding when you're saying, hey, this is shit because it's not as good as it's advertised to be. And I've heard you do that.
Hey,
and
I don't
gives you credibility, though.
Yeah, I don't want to make you guys go off and spend money on something if I think it's garbage. But I want to make sure I've exhausted every avenue to prove that it's that come to that conclusion fairly. I don't just come out and blurt
like
something
MFJ
out.
shark sticks or MFJ ham sticks.
Yeah, I'm not gonna talk about those.
He put out a video.
But it's like, okay, I'll buy the shark.
Well, I've got
like
I've got the sharks and I've got the MFJs. Guess which ones I run? The MFJs. No, the MFJs.
Oh, I
no.
like the shark.
And you know why? You've seen it. Those 600 watts really do perform better. They really do.
I probably
forgot you had 600 watts in your car.
I'm not running 600 watts. That's not the point. The point is they're bigger and they get out better because the coils are smaller. The build quality is great on them. I have a few of the other MFJs, and between them and the sharks, they're like, because I had a shark. The only one that I've ever sent back was a shark. And now the guy was wonderful and replaced it for me, but.
So here's I guess where I'll go with this. There's a ton of YouTubers, that are doing ham radio stuff right now, which is great. I was literally talking about this before COVID. We need more creators. We need more content creators, and now we have it. So here's my question. Why can't you give the content creators some amount of charity? Have we pointed you in the wrong direction? Have we recommended something that you shouldn't have bought? Have we not been completely honest? Have we not been really clear that you could buy this, but caution, roadblocks, be very careful? If there are situations like that, let me know. I would like to know when I tell you something that is not completely clear or whatever, right? Whatever it is.
But I think are some of the best, very easily some of the best videos for guys like me that want honest reviews, even if you're sponsored. So when Scott puts out a video, when you put out a video, I pay attention.
Well, I mean, go ahead, Don.
Well, yeah, because I mean, I'd watch a ton of YouTubers, and I have not found anybody to be dishonest. I really have not.
I haven't either.
And who have shot straight. That's why I was getting kind of a little bit on Mike's side, if you will, because I don't see Mike going up and saying what he's been saying. And I've watched all of his videos, or a number of them, and I haven't seen that he has back down from the fact that he really
No.
truly believes that M&P is the best coax.
Right.
Now, to your point, yes, I contribute to all you guys financially, etc., and I trust all of you guys. I haven't had any of you lead me astray on a product. And in fact, I've bought products that you guys have said shit are shit, and they turn out to be shit. So I really do believe you guys are doing your honest bests to review things correctly. So I don't look at any video as being a joke. And if you guys are doing joke videos, please don't.
Right. No, I mean, I don't think we have. I don't think we will. Right. But it actually. Okay. So at a certain point, right, when you have. There is a situation I live in right now, right? Like there is a place I have 250,000 subscribers for ham radio, which to me is crazy. So
makes you king of the lab.
Makes you the grandson of ham radio.
But hear me out. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But hear me out. At a certain point, like 100,000 subscribers ago, I was thinking to myself, it's like this is becoming a point where I could literally say a brand and talk about something and people will go buy it. Like they will go buy it. They might not even listen to me saying it's good or bad, or I could be wishy-washy or whatever. So I realized really quickly that I had to be really clear in my intentions in what I'm saying. And maybe not all the other YouTubers are there. I assume they are to some degree. The reality of it is that we're still in a place where a lot of ham radio gear is not that bad. And further, we find ourselves in a place where it's like, yeah, you look at something and it's like, yeah, it does the thing it's going to do. And we applied this testing mechanism on it, and it seems to work okay. And all the things are working and all they're good or whatever, but you still walk into a world of like, oh, you reviewed a chameleon antenna, and that's a you know, it's a cloud warmer. It's not actually doing anything for you for DX or whatever. It's like there were literally people that were screaming about that. It's like, okay, well, you know, it's just not for you. It's okay. So it turns into this huge minefield that you walk when you post a video, and I mean, it's fun. It's fun, but at the same time, it's a little exhausting that you have to repeat a lot of stuff to people. It's like I'm not trying to defraud you. I'm not trying to take your money for some other company, faceless company. I don't really care if you buy the product. I'm just talking about it because I think it's interesting. I bought in to either buy it, and in a very few times where I've been sent stuff because it was super interesting and they were willing to send it. Most times I bought it because I like it and I find it cool. And that's it. That's all it is. That's all it is. You can see that like with the
you're honest.
That laptop, this stupid laptop, this whole thing with the laptop. I know Rhea beat me to the punch, and Rhea made a fantastic video. I love Rhea. But you all were here when I bought that on the live stream. I had no concept of Rhea buying that laptop. I just thought this was a freaking cool thing, a $60 laptop. And it turned out to be great. It charges off of 13 volts. Hell yeah. That's it. That's
the
great.
The difference though is that Rhea has 1,000 subscribers. You have 270,000, and if only 1% buy the laptop, you're going to sell every laptop they have. I mean, Mike picked one up for me in Houston and sent it to me, and I was like a kid at Christmas morning setting up this little $60 laptop. Like, oh my god, this is better than a Raspberry Pi for $60.
Yes, it is better than a Raspberry Pi. Yes, yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
But you have
the code to use it.
You can move product for manufacturers on an enormous scale, and if they're not smart enough to recognize that, shame on them.
Well, that's my problem that was my recent problem with Yaesu. I have to say, Yaesu.
Well, that's the problem with a lot of these guys out there. They don't realize the power they've got from if they bring stuff to us
ICOM gets it.
YouTubers.
ICOM gets it. ICOM
Yeah.
absolutely gets it. They're a sponsor of Ham Nation. Ray will hop onto any live stream if I were to ask Ray, commensurate to his schedule. He'll be out here talking about whatever we want to talk about. But Yaesu got upset about YouTubers talking about their new radio, and John Crook did a live stream in the passenger seat of a car just to correct the information that Ham Radio dude
Say that you guys
and
didn't know
Mike
what
were
was going on.
posting. And it's like, do you guys not understand the value that these people are putting out there? Like, do you not get it? Like, do you not see that they like your product?
Engineer pride is what it is.
I want to be really. I want to have a moment where I'm really clear. We all like Yaesu products. We all love Yaesu products. I don't care. There are some people that are completely dyed in the wool to one brand or the other, but I love all the radio brands. And if I get a hot news brief out of Japan about a new radio, you bet someone's going to make a video on it on YouTube. That world of which it was like it showed up on QST a month later, that world is gone. Someone is going to post a video about it. And if you don't control that message, it's out. It's done. And they did. They walked out there and they made a video at the best of their ability. And I think it was still good information. But to be upset that it happened, it's like, guys, this is the reality. Like, this is the now. This is the real world. Like, we're going to talk about these radios. I'm going to find out about radios before most people find out about radios, and I'm going to talk about them. I absolutely will.
Well, that's our business, too.
I like the way you guys do that.
We look for the news on new things. If we see something new that's out there that's going to interest the ham radio community as a whole, there's a good chance we're going to shoot a video on it. I mean, ham radio dude was the first person to do the video on the 710.
And he did a good job.
I did it like 2 hours later, and then Mike was like an hour behind me.
Sorry, Scott. I did not include you in that, but yes. But the point is that there was a lot of people that were talking about it because it got leaked. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about those things. We're going to talk about new information. I bet you, this is just foreshadowing. I assume that early morning, everyone is going to run right to the Yaesu booth in Huntsville because we all believe that radio is going to be under glass right there. Right.
If the 710's not at Huntsville, they're idiots.
Yeah. Thank you,
I'm
Paul.
going to put my grand prize ticket in the barrel.
Thank you, Paul. Yes, 100%.
I predict that thing will be $850. Almost guarantee it.
$899.
Well,
you want to know the real answer?
Yes.
$1,200.
I love that.
They can't do that.
$1,200 doesn't.
Too much.
I'm going to say $1,200 doesn't.
How many of you are into video games? How many of you play? How many of you are gamers? How many of you here are gamers?
Yep,
I am. I've been a gamer since 1984.
Okay, when a new console comes out, do you pay more because you're an early adopter?
Yeah. I never buy a console.
The first third of the early adopters will always pay more.
I never
and then the
buy
next
a console.
55% pay what the market is.
Okay, so my belief is that this radio will come out at $1,200, and you will see a sweet, tasty little discount at Christmas time for $200 off. There it is. So all the early adopters pay more, and then you get the hot discount at Christmas time. Tell me I'm wrong.
I think you're right.
I think you're 100% correct.
Yeah, that'll probably be a
right, Josh.
$200 rebate, likely, from ham radio.
The problem I have with that is that I would still say the radio is $800 for early adopters, and then it drops when later at Christmas by $200.
It doesn't
because it doesn't. It doesn't make sense
they're not
for it
gonna-
to be that expensive.
They're not going to sell it for the same price as a 891 was, and you also need to take into account.
But it's not an 891 replacement. It's the 12. It's the replacement for the 1200, which was $1,000 plus radio when it came out. So it's going to be $1,000 plus.
Well,
radio.
and the 710s or the
Big Walking Talby,
FPDX10.
thank you for subscribing. Thank you.
The FTDX10 was supposedly a replacement for the 3000. Neither one of those radios replace either one of those those older radios. They're nowhere near the functionality of those older radios.
Oh no, SDR front end. How can you compare software?
I don't care. I don't care about that. Look at the connectivity on the back of them. Neither one of them has the connectivity on the back of them that the other two radios did. That is a sin.
FTDX has DVI. What more could you need?
You need more than one antenna port. You absolutely do. You guys were just having a conversation about having the antenna switch so you can switch to your SDRs. If you had two antenna switches, you wouldn't need that.
Don spitting facts out here.
Damn right.
And Don has them.
I'm 100%.
Why? You know, honestly, why do I own an FTDX10 and a 101D? Because the 101D has the connectivity that the other radios, all other radios, should.
So,
Don, take a deep breath.
So straight up, here's the really interesting thing that what cuts the entry level radio operator from the second level radio operator radio. It's literally the multiple antenna feed points. That is what it is. And also kind of the video output, although that's changing a little bit. So a lot of folks, when they assume, oh, you are a newcomer to ham radio, you will have one antenna. That's not a bad position to stand on. I'm a newcomer to ham radio. I have one antenna and I'm good to go. The reality is that, like, given enough time, most people on HF start looking at, like, improving their HF space, if they will. And if it's a high RFI environment, like in the suburbs, then they're going to look at, like, different ways of lowering that and to use those secondary antenna ports. Not all those radios have that, though. And so you're literally looking at, like, a 7300 as a starting point with one antenna port, and then the 7610, that's like $2,000 more expensive. That's a big jump, right? The 101D, fantastic radio. Also, big jump from the FT4, right? Big jump. And why? It's multiple antenna ports. That's what it comes down to. It really does. And antenna diversity.
Well, there's more than that on the 101. The 101's got
the big though.
It's got the full set of buttons on the front, so that you never even have to go to the damn menus. And there's a lot of other things about that radio that's why it's $4,000 instead of, like,
Don, you have a 101?
Yes, I have a 101.
Adam Lavoie,
and an FTDX10.
Thank you so much for subscribing.
Yes,
Appreciate it.
The FTDX10 is for POTA.
Why don't you sell me the FTDX10?
Because I use it for POTA. That's what I bought it for.
What
I
about
never bought it for the shack. Huh?
Don't you have an 891?
POTA. All three of those are for POTA radios. Why?
You might have. That's it.
And Paul, my radio that I'm running right now on my main operating position is a Sun SDR. No, it's a Sun SDR. The Flex radio is sitting behind me, disconnected. I've disconnected it. I'm going to move it to another remote location. But yeah, I mean, I got a lot of radios.
You're the only one I know that has more radios than me.
Have you ever looked behind Jason when he's live streaming?
Well, he's also got more antennas on the ground than we all do.
He also has
Jason only has one antenna.
Yeah, the rest of them are on the ground. Don was my point.
Oh, yes, you're true. True.
And I bet he still hasn't built his DX Commander yet, right?
No, he's claiming he won't. Do you know he's got a Mercury 3S in a box?
Okay, I'm telling you how. Okay, I'm prophesizing. Here's my prophesizing. Jason will build the DX Commander when he has Callum come out to help him build it.
Well, Callum said he's never coming to the United States.
Okay.
Now,
we'll see.
Never say never, but
We'll see.
that's what he said.
Really? Why?
Yes. I don't know. He's never said. He just said he won't make a trip to the States.
I'm just prophesizing.
Okay. And some of us have speculated the same thing. Hell, Frank would
If
probably go
Callum
over there and
comes to the
build it
United
for it.
States, you guys are going to fight over who gets to host them.
Oh, I imagine that if Callum came over, he would just go to pretty much to everybody. He's
Okay.
that kind of guy.
Jody, thank you very much. That is going in the ham memes collection. That is a fantastic. That is a fantastic meme. I love it. I'll put it on the chat here so everybody see it.
You gotta love what Callum's doing with the antenna theory, though. I mean, how many of these guys that literally have cult followings whip out Easy Neck, or he's using Mana, and show on paper? What is it? Last week he said that supersized Delta is the best antenna he's using.
Who has cult followings?
Oh, Callum, he's got people that are like, if he said buy it, they would buy it or take a loan out to buy it
No,
when
you just said like there's all these people out there with cult followings, so I'm trying to understand what you mean.
I think YouTubers in some respect do have cult followings, and it's
that
not because
frightens me. That scares the crap out of me.
Implies that people will follow you blindly.
Well,
no, that scares me, man.
I talked about it a little bit last week. I mean, when I go on to the chats, because I watch a lot of the YouTube videos. Literally, I don't watch television. So if somebody is live streaming,
I'm with you, bud. I know why I like you. I know why I like you.
Yeah, but the thing is, Josh, so I'm here tonight.
Yeah.
But I'm also on Ham Nation, Ham Radio Clubhouse.
I also do Ham Nation.
Well, you're right.
I'm kidding.
But Ham Radio Clubhouse, I follow those guys every week. Every time Coffee and Ham Radios is on, I'm on there. And here's the thing about it.
Yeah.
When I get on there, it's the same group of guys that, and when Jason live streams, by the way, but it's the same group of guys. We all know each other. Hey, hi, Andy. Hi, Scott. Hi, Ed. There's a ton of people that we all know each other. Lon Moore, who I know, he lives near here.
Mm-hmm.
Met him a few times. So, I mean, we know each other in chat. So that cult following thing is not far off, because it's the same group of guys on there for every one of those ham shows, and we show up every week, and we greet each other every week, and we have a blast every week.
Can I give you all more credit than say cult following, please, if I could? Like,
yeah,
you're all radio
you
operators.
build an audience. That's all that is.
Yeah, you all go out and play radio. Like Andy is definitely a radio operator. You definitely are a radio operator, and you come onto this Afterchat to talk about your experiences and recommend it to people like that are starting out.
Mm-hmm.
You're not a cult follower. Like a cult is very different than what anything
You're
we're
not
doing
sheep.
is. You're not sheep. Like at no time. Please, you right? Like you, am I wrong, or am I close, or?
You're 100% right.
I think you're right.
Open and friendly. I don't see fanboys even here. Everybody that comes out here to this Discord or your YouTube are just normal guys. I like watching it and listening.
No, I mean,
I think when you have the Discord and you have the new people come in that have been licensed for a week, and they always ask the same question, what HT should I get? And it's like, well, what do you want to do with it?
How much money you got to spend?
How much money you have to spend?
Yep,
it's like when I first started out and I bought the D74. I was so far over my head, I didn't even know what I was doing. So I ended up selling it so that I could buy a 7300. And this 7300 got me into HF. And that's basically how, you get it. You get into the hobby and you go like, okay, I really like this. And this is what I do. It's like my wife's like, oh my God, are you going to talk to your pen pals? That's how I came up with the ham radio pen pals. Because she's like, these are like having friends that you don't really know, but you talk to them all the time. But instead of writing like in the old days, you do it by video or you do it by chat. So it's a good thing.
Yeah,
you build a following.
It's definitely not a cult, though. Like, no one's controlling your thoughts.
No, it's not.
Like, we're not putting you to work to make you, like, behoove into what we believe. Like, It's just radio. Like if you want to do the radio we like,
Fill
then
my
you do it.
coffers.
If you don't like the radio, then don't do the radio. Like there's so much differences in our radio space, like in our hobby. Like you can do anything you want. And I talk about some of it, not all of it. I try to talk about a lot of it. I'd like to talk about more of it. But we're not telling you what to do. It's a suggestion. It's a suggestion. That's all it is.
Well, it's like when Ape went off on the Evolve. It's like, okay, we'll throw it out for $60. Throw the goddamn thing out. It's not even worth losing your mind over it.
Yeah, well, what got me on that was T.O. pointing out the fact that Ape owned 4 of those laptops. So
I'm telling you,
Yeah, but
image that thing.
Steve's
Image
an
that
honest
thing.
guy.
Image that thing and lock it up and
Mhm.
set it away. Vault it and
well,
save it.
Again, one of his main points was the fact that he had bought a 4th one or whatever it was, and he had bought one and it did not have that little card in it, and I believe he thought that they were all built the same way.
So you're telling me
Mhm.
that whole tirade was based off of him having 3 out of 4 radios that had the slot?
I may be reading it wrong, but yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's.
I think what he was
Thinks got
trying to
screwed,
do.
I'm sure.
Yeah, what he was trying to do is he was trying to keep people from buying more of them at this point, because the ones that are in stock in most of the places in the country right now are the ones without that extra slot. And then if you watch what Ria did, right?
Mm-hmm.
She was showing this, oh, look, hey, you can go in and replace this card and put a hard drive in it. Well, she never mentioned the fact that, by the way, that slot only is in certain models, and those models are not sold anymore.
But we didn't
She
know
didn't
that.
want that.
I don't think Ria knew that. I didn't know
No,
that.
I know, and that
I
was
didn't know
Ape's
that.
point. That was Ape's point.
But
Don,
here's the
can I
thing.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead, Paul. Go ahead.
So if the Evolve doesn't have the slot to put in the hard drive, it's not worth $60.
To Ape, it's not, because it's being sold. I mean, there was no difference in the ad. They were both $59, and if you look on the website, you can find them both still on the Micro Center website. And if you don't look really carefully, you will not notice that the one that was sold last week for $59 is not the one that's being sold this week for $59.
Well, when Mike picked up mine, I don't even know that I specified that you had the LTE card in it. Nor
No.
did I even look for that. But if it
Right,
didn't have
'cause-
it, if the screen only half the screen worked, I would still say it's worth $60.
Yeah,
Like,
but see, Ape's not feeling that way.
Yeah, but here's the thing that I want to understand about. I should talk to Abe. I will engage with Abe because I want to understand this. What are you gonna do with that slot? Like, it's ham radio shit. Like, what are you gonna put on there? Like, it's not a good laptop. We've all covered that. It does ham radio stuff. Great. But what else are you gonna do with it? There's nothing else to do with it. There's nothing else. That's it.
So when I go down to a compartmentalized office and I want to go do a screening of some high government material, and I'm in the box, I need to be able to plug in my validation key. I can't do that with my $60 laptop.
It won't take your cat card, Paul. Sorry.
It will not take my cat card, and I will have to turn around and drive all the way back home.
I gotta go home now. I gotta not work.
Now I have to go home. And there's maybe 2 people who know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
But-
you and me, Paul. You and me, and anybody else that gets that.
I got it.
But I remember those days.
Oh yeah,
You had that-
I've definitely done that.
You carried that fucking card around your neck, and you didn't let anybody near.
But that one day I forgot it at home. Oh man,
It's like I'm going to be late for my briefing. I'll be back in 2 hours.
It's a bad laptop, guys. It's a bad laptop. It continues to be a bad laptop. No one is trying to oversell it, but also at the same time, it's $60. It's like the Baofeng argument of laptops. It is $60 and runs a full version of Windows, which is...
And it charges at 12 volts.
It charges at 12 volts. I don't know what else to say. I don't...
I had to buy 10 cords. I had to buy 10 plugs to get one so I could put a power pole in it.
I still love that creaky hinge stuff, Josh. It
Oh
just
yeah, it's so
it's
bad.
so awful.
It's so bad. No, it's really bad. It is a creaky ass laptop. And one day I'll open it up and the screen will have consumed itself, and that's just how it's gonna be. And then that's why I have a backup version. But like it's just a cheap laptop. It's $60. Like who cares? Who cares?
It's like if I wanted an $800 service, I would have gone out and bought that.
Yeah. Anyway, I love Ape. I love Ape, and this is not literally most of this conversation is not about Ape. I think I think he's I think he is raising good commentary on the discussion of, like, you know, there are things that are not great, like the Linux. If you go load Linux and you blow out all the windows, I would highly recommend you take an image of your Windows everything. Just image the entire drive if you're doing Windows. Then do the Linux, then do all that stuff, and then have fun with it. But please take an image, please.
Joe Brett doesn't like me anymore.
Andre, yeah, no, all my videos have the descriptor that has indeed a PO box. Jesse, thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much, appreciate it.
All right, Don.
I have a ham radio question.
Yeah, Paul, go for it, man.
This is a ham radio question too. So I was typing it. I love you, Don. But seriously, the OVF light, whatever, 7300. Now I went from a Kenwood TS440 to the 7300, so it's quite a jump in technology.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a simple guy. I don't know a whole lot. I just make videos about things I think's cool. So I'm not trying to be a professor or anything. But how do you know that you're overloading the front end of your radio if it doesn't have an indicator?
It desenses. So, Joe Brett, you have to understand, when I had the 7300, it was in the same shack connected to the same radio, or connected to the same antennas, that all of my other radios, you know how many radios I've got, all of my other radios are connected to the same stuff. The only one that ever desensed like that was the 7300. And yeah, you could turn it down and it would go away. But you turn it down, also you're losing more and more signals that are perfectly strong without that. What was my problem here? The noise floor. My noise floor here was causing that OVF light. But I don't have that problem with the Sun SDR, the 101D, the 857, and right. I can go on and on. It's only the 7300 that did that. Now, you probably live in a place where you're dead quiet 100% of the time, so you don't have a noise floor like I do.
Yeah, I'm no noise on 20 right now.
And in that picture I posted, go watch Bob Nagy's comparison of the FTDX10 against the 7300. And you will see when he shows the 7300, which is where that picture is taken from, you'll see that OVF light flash on and off, on and off, on and off, which is exactly what was happening to me. And when it would do that, the radio would desense. I don't want the front end to desense, and I don't have that on any of my other radios.
That's true. I'm stuck with it now, but you know, and that's what I'm saying.
No.
I don't have radios to compare it to, and that's my first HF rig was the Kenwood 440, and that's what I went directly to the 7300. So I didn't know.
I honestly had a G90 before I had the 7300, and I never had a problem. So I didn't realize that, like, when I got the 7300 and I was happy with the radio, I still am. I like it. I like the interface. I have a 705, by the way. 705 doesn't do it, which is odd to me. I've mentioned this to several people and they said, no, the 705 is not built any differently. Well, why don't I ever have the same problem I did with the 7300? And by the way, the only reason I got rid of the 7300, because that is a joke, I got rid of the 7300 because I traded it to Connor for an amplifier. So it is true. It's the only radio I ever got rid of.
You got a hot amplifier off of Connor, is what you're saying.
Probably.
I'm just kidding.
But he took my 7300, and what did he do with it? He got rid of it.
He robbed somebody and then left the 7300 for their flex radios, what he did. I'm guessing is what he did.
I don't know. Yeah.
So I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Nothing I said is legitimate. Please, nobody. So, Don, hear me out. Hear me out.
Radio.
I'll get Paul. I'll let you go in a second. And I want to hear your question. So here's actually my question about the OTF light and anyone who is experienced in that space. I'm experienced in that space. I've lived in that space. It doesn't matter if that light goes on or you're just close to that light or maybe you're beyond that light. HF is completely effed. Like, you're not making contacts at that high of a noise floor.
That's not the point, though, Josh. The radios, the front end doesn't desense. You don't stop receiving signals like you do when that OVF light was on. At least that was my experience with the OVF light.
But it's
when that came on, the front end was overloaded, and I was getting no more signal. I don't have that problem with any other radio.
Is it possible, though, that our yardstick of measurement must change because we now have SDRs in our community? Like, when we compare it to other radios that are not SDR.
But I'm comparing it to SDRs.
But please. You're comparing it to SDRs that have come 5 years later. That have only raised themselves up on the backs of the 705.
Really? Well, possibly. I mean, the G90 maybe, but I mean the G90 didn't do it. So comparing to the G90,
you think the FTDX10 didn't buy anything off of the 7300? Like they didn't learn any lessons off of radio from 5 years ago that they baked into that, right?
Oh, true. Perfectly true. I don't say that.
Yeah.
The only reason I ever bring up that OVF light is because I think a lot of people, and even Ape has agreed with me on this, that the thing when it overloads, it doesn't behave correctly. And I've have multiple systems out there or multiple radios out here that don't have the problem that when they they overload and desense the radio. To me, that's a design flaw. And I don't think it's an early SDR problem or anything like that. I think it's the way in which that overloading was handled. If you're going to overload, maybe back off a little bit on how much you're taking in or whatever it is, but don't just completely cut the entire front end off.
But okay, so there actually is the point. Like, you could always turn. By the way, I agree with your point there. I do. I don't think that the radio wants to assume the operating position. You can turn on the attenuator on the 7300. By the way, I often had the 3 dB attenuator on the 7300 at 40 meters, and I still made a ton of contacts. You have to do that with an SDR in some cases, depending on what it's capable of. Like, you have to. There's no way around that. That's part. By the way, one of the reasons why I like Yaesu's front-end design on SDRs is because they put some of those discrete RF components on the front end to smooth out some of that stuff. They do a good job at that. But also, it's 5 years later from when the 7300 came out, right?
Yeah, but I mean, wasn't Flex Radio building SDRs before?
Oh, and I'm not taking anything. I'm not taking anything away from them either. What are they doing? Like, what? How do they handle 40 meters and 80 meters at high noise?
They don't overload.
Okay,
but you have to understand.
Are they attenuating your signal for you because you are in a high noise environment?
No,
you cannot get away from it. So what are they doing? What are they doing?
You can tell. Josh. There's a difference between attenuating and shutting the front end down, right?
Have either of you guys ever worked a radio that was made an older style one?
I have a TS520S. How's that?
Older.
Got a couple of Drakes.
TS520S.
Older.
No, I don't run. I've never run radios that old.
Mike, why don't you just tell us? I'm dying with bated breath.
When you work original radios with the original AGC, like a HRO or AR88D or any of those big old-fashioned superhits, you always controlled the front end first and then turned your volume control up. Have we lost the idea that you use the RF gain to control the front end of the radio?
I think we have lost a little bit.
Yeah, because the RF gain control might as well be left off. No one ever uses the damn thing anymore.
I do.
Well, then why didn't you
But
just
that'll
turn
stop
down?
it from overloading.
Because it
I mean, Don, I know what you mean. I sit there. If there's a video with TO, and in the background you can see is 7300, and he's talking about a computer. It's not even a ham radio video, and you can see the RVF light flashing and the audio cutting out.
Right.
You can actually see you can hear the audio dropping.
The
This is
reason
what
I
Don's
didn't
on
do
about.
it, Mike, is because it didn't happen on any of the other radios.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, it's like driving a car and leaving the choke on.
So if I go buy a different model and
No,
I don't
no,
have
not-
to put the
not
choke
saying-
on,
What's a
I prefer the other model. What's wrong with that?
You need to buy another model of Jaguar, apparently.
But it's all in operating procedure. Not saying you're doing
It's
it.
operating procedure of a specific radio
Yeah.
that has that one specific problem,
Don,
and I don't need to have
Don.
that problem.
Yes.
right?
Don,
Wait, Don. We all agree with
getting
you.
a bit aggressive, Don.
Yeah, we all agree with you. Yeah.
Well, then
We're
I don't
saying there's something
understand what
wrong
we're
with
talking
it.
about then.
We're saying there's something wrong with the design, which they fixed. Right.
Well, I mean, what
You
you're
know-
saying, Mike, is I threw it away. I
No,
didn't.
no, what I'm
I just
saying
got
is-
rid of it later when I could afford the
What I'm
Flex
saying is
radio and I wanted an amplifier. The only thing was I dealt with that and it bothered me during that whole time.
Yeah, it bothers me about the design of it. It bothers me.
Well, that's all I'm
What
saying.
is,
I'm not saying I got rid of it because of
are
that.
we
That's a
losing-
joke. Like
are
I
we
said.
losing the skill, to operate a radio correctly? It's
No, I mean,
it is what I was wondering. Not that you were doing it, but I don't see anybody doing that at all. And my front end's a bit, because those old-fashioned radios didn't have much of an AGC. It was on or fully over the top, and you had to back it off, otherwise, or if it didn't have any gain, it was as deaf as a post.
Yeah.
You work with what you've got,
Okay.
Well,
wait.
yeah.
Hold on. I think we agree with Don in a lot of places here. I actually don't think we're taking anything away from his point. I think your decision not to have it a 7300 anymore is warranted in your experience. I don't think anybody has taken anything away from you, but I think we've been sitting on Paul for a little while. Paul has an actual
Yeah.
I've got one last thing to say, yeah.
Okay,
right?
go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
Last thing is, just because Don doesn't like it, doesn't mean it's crap. It means Don doesn't like it.
Right. And not
There
only
you go.
that, but that if you find it and you use it and you love the radio, love
Exactly.
the radio.
Great.
It
I don't
doesn't mean
care.
it's rubbish.
I don't
It means
care.
Don
We-
doesn't
we-
like it. That
we-
doesn't mean it's rubbish. That means Don doesn't like it.
We actually
Same
found
reason why that if Don doesn't like light beer, does that mean all light beer is rubbish? No, it means
Yes.
Don
Miller
doesn't
Lite.
like
Yeah,
light beer.
Miller Lite. Yeah.
No,
Yes,
it's just
it
the
does.
crap
There
that
you
Abe
go.
drinks.
I actually will say that that's a really good point. Like we come to an agreement on that. Like radio is very subjective. It is super subjective. We enjoy our interfaces and the environments we put our radios in. Like me, super high noise environment. I know what my world is. So some radios are better than that. Some aren't. So Paul, please enlighten us with your question. I would love to hear it.
And this is an actual ham radio question because I decided to finally try to do FT8. I've been holding off for a couple of years, and you know how much I hate FT8. But when I was looking at the JS8 or what is it, the JSTX, you have to put in your grid square, and my grid square on QRZ is my PO box in New Jersey, and I live in Florida. Can I put the grid square in for Florida into the program?
Absolutely, and you should
not worry about it. Because it said that it uses QRZ to check your
No, so Paul, it's the same way you would treat it if you were vacationing. So if I was in Hawaii, I wouldn't use my Cerritos grid square. If I was in Hawaii doing FT8, I would use my Hawaii grid square that I was operating from. So just update your grid square and make it practical to where you're at. It doesn't have to be exactly where you're at, but pretty close, so people know where you're at.
Oh no, I looked up the grid square. I have it exact. And do you use the oh gosh, what is it? I'm EL98, and then there's an EG. Do you use the EG or just the EL98?
I use an app on my phone called Maidenhead. Maidenhead, all one word, and it gives you your grid square. You can just type it into WSJTX for iPhone.
Yeah, I figure I'm going to try the FT8 with my 891 because I have that secret antenna going up by the palm tree, and it's working great. So I'm going to try it. We'll see what happens. That was my first ham radio question in a long time.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Good question.
I'm still waiting for that one video because I've been looking to get an 8-watt Baofeng. And when you put out a video that says this is the best 8-watt HT, I'm just going to go buy it. Enough analyzing.
Well,
I have one of those if you want it.
So I would go ahead and say, like, save your money. My thoughts on Baofengs have changed a bit over the last 4 years. I would tell you to just go buy a UV5R. Just go buy a 4-watt Baofeng and get on with your life. If you're holding off on buying a radio, just go buy that and have fun with it. Get on with it.
Plus, you noticed everything's dropped about $10. They're $21 on Amazon.
Really? Oh my gosh. Okay, right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, there's the UV5R on Amazon, and then what is it? The UV5X that Radioddity sells. That's a bit higher quality handheld, in that it would meet the FCC requirements, and it's like roughly the same price. I would go with that. That'd be great.
Did you see the one that Ham Radio Dude reviewed recently?
No.
Yeah, that one was interesting. I mean, I thought he did a good review. Now, what he says is when he took it out of the box and powered it on, it was programmed with GMRS frequencies. But anyway, we'll ignore that for now. But it's USB-C chargeable, which I thought was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something about is a drop-in charger 12 volt or something like. Anyway, I can't remember, but it seemed like a really interesting radio, and he said, basically they advertised it as a 12-watt radio or an 8-watt radio or whatever. He said just ignore that, it's just a standard 5-watt radio, and it has some additional sealing on it or capabilities on it to seal it up a little bit, so the rubberized hole covers and the battery, the back battery has a ring around it with a screw that screws it down and holds it against the case. So it's at least a little waterproof. And I think he said that was he got it for about $33. So that one looked like a good one for $33 radio with USB-C charging.
Okay, very good. All right, I'm going to take this moment to hop out because I got an early start, 6 a.m. I got to get up, so I'm gonna wrap up the live stream here and wish you all the
Have
best
a good
of
time.
Rest of your weekend. You'll see videos on it. I don't know if it's going to be on mine or over on Randy's side, but hopefully, I think from the work we did here, I think we'll have a good activation. So thank you for your help.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
Should be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Really looking forward to. I don't care who videos it, but somebody's got to video that, and it's going to be great.
Yeah. Right on. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your weekend and evening, and take it easy. Right.
Hi, Josh.
Hi, Josh. Hi, Josh.
See ya.
Thanks.
All right, everybody out on the chat, please enjoy the new Violent OM song and take it easy. See ya. Take it easy, everybody. Have a great rest of your weekend. And if you're out there on the hunting apps for soda, keep an eye out, because I'll be out there.